1 northbound at Dean's Lane into South Brunswick. All lanes closed with an accident investigation. And 22 westbound at the Garden State Parkway. 2 lanes blocked with emergency construction. 78 eastbound slowing down by exit 3. 2 lanes blocked with construction going out till 7 this morning. Thruway looks okay getting down toward the Tappan Zee Bridge. No major problems for you as you take a ride over to the southbound thruway into Spring Valley. 95 southbound easing getting down through Greenwich. Some earlier issues cleared. Mostly cloudy today, high of 62. Rain likely for tomorrow with a high of 59. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Live from the smartwaytobuy.com studios.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day with your host, former Saturday Night Live superstar Joe Piscopo. Produced by Frank Morano with news guy Al Gattullo and traffic with Debbie Duhame. This is Piscopo in the morning on AM 970. The Answer.
My favorite song. That's good. Somebody's watching me. I get it because we're streaming. We're on Facebook this morning. Good morning, good morning. And we're on YouTube, 606 with Joe Piscopo on the radio. AM 970, The Answer. Great to have you with us. We got a big show, and we stream every Tuesday, and we go on the YouTube because these kids with the streaming things that they do nowadays, all I ever want to do is just do radio. I am so having fun, thanks to you listening, by the way, for doing radio. And when you come in with radio, you could just come in with this face made for radio. I'm just saying. And you could come in, and I used to put a hat on my head, and I would just dress down and hang out, and it was easy. And then people started to do really something that was really, really strange. They started to listen. And then I started doing some TV things, and then there were events, and now it's nonstop. And you know what? It's okay, because at my age, you don't want to stop. Because if I stop, I've been thinking about this. If I stop, boom, I want God willing, we don't stop. But if you do, boom, you want to just kind of go like Dick Shawn, the great comic actor. If you remember Dick Shawn, he went out. There was a part in the stage, a show that he did in Los Angeles where it was intermission, and as a joke, he would lay out in the middle of the stage, put a newspaper over his head, and that was the intermission because everybody laughing. And he would stay there the whole intermission. Well, apparently Dick Shawn, one of the most brilliant cats of all time, you got to Google Dick Shawn, he actually died on stage like that. That's the way to go, in my opinion. Isn't that right? Didn't Irene Dunn, the famous dancer, singer, Irene Dunn, didn't she go the same way? I'm just saying, when you get older, you think of things like this, right? I saw Dick Shawn when I was at it was the Dean Martin roast with Frank Sinatra. I actually saw Dick Shawn live, hysterical. And it was almost like he had a Gilly Gottfried kind of mindset, where most people got it, but a lot of people didn't, but you knew it was brilliant, right? Hey, it's Piscopo in the morning. It's 8 minutes after 6 o'clock. A lot to get into this morning, and we got a great show for you today. Former commissioner of the NYPD legend, Ray Kelly is with us. Saw Mr. Kelly last night. Arthur Aidala. Oh, you do not. Let me just tell you, you don't want to miss Arthur, because Arthur and I were together last night. Yeah, I don't think you want to miss that. Yeah, I'm just saying. This is fair warning. He's the best. Gallagher on the show. David Burke, super chef. This guy is the best. David is a lot of fun. And what I love about Dave, he's grounded. The gals love him, the guys like him, but he's an extremely talented super chef, and he's kind enough to come in here on Tuesdays and really cook for us. So we don't know what David's doing, but we can't wait because it's always spectacular. David Burke with us on AM 970, The Answer with Joe Piscopo. So it looks like Mike Pompeo is going to be Secretary of State. Excuse me. See, I was going to do another Italian thing, and when I go out there and I meet you, and I'll tell you where we were last night, but when I go out, people always, a lot of Italian Americans, and it's like they pull you aside and they go, "Hey, Joe, thanks for speaking up for us." I'm telling you, they say that to me. Like we're a cult. It's like, he goes, well, hey, Joe, we appreciate you saying. Like, we're not supposed to say it because we're Italian. We're so used to being beaten down, they're going to take your statue down. And if we didn't say anything, I swear to God, they would have taken that statue down. Angelo Vivolo stepped up in the most stellar of fashions. We did all we could. Tucker Carlson kind enough to put us on the on Fox, and get the word out. So we're just proud Italian Americans, and thanks to everybody for saying that. Because you know what, I always like to just kind of keep the whole heritage alive, as you should keep every heritage alive, I think, in the United States of America. So anyway, so as we get into Mike Pompeo, he's an Italian American. He was the number one graduate, number one in his class at West Point, and I think if he didn't get this confirmation, looks like he's going to get it, the Italian Americans would have been very upset. I'm just saying. And we would have made some more noise 10 minutes after 6 o'clock. And is there anybody more qualified? I mean, really? Than Mike Pompeo for Secretary of State? And he's the CIA guy, meeting with Kim Jong-un already, kept his mouth shut like a true Italian American. Hey, come on. And then Macron, I like saying Macron, he's in town. The French president comes in, meets with Donald Trump. They're talking about Iran. It looks like Donald Trump Donald Trump doesn't want to do this Iran deal, but Macron has different ideas, so the two of them are talking. This is a great team. This is a great television team. And they're doing the big state dinner tonight. I didn't get my invite. But that's what kills me, too. People always go, oh, yeah, Joe's a Trump guy. Wait, am I at the White House once? What do I... And I'm not looking for it, by the way. It's best we stay removed from the fray. We did what we had to do, But anyway, so there's a big state dinner down there at the White House that I wasn't invited to, and with the Macrons and the Trumps, and it's the first official state visit reading here of the Trump administration. The Macrons will be formally greeted on the South Lawn this morning. That happened already. They will also be honored during a state dinner tonight. In between the events, the two presidents will have private meeting and joint news conferences. A joint news conference in New Jersey means something else. The Trumps and the Macrons had dinner at historic Mount Vernon, Virginia, last night. Is that what they had? And then they're going to have the state dinner tonight. It's a lot of money. Do we need to do all the pomp and circumstance? I guess so. Because, it costs a lot of money. I'm just a little leery of that. 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. So this is big in New York State, and Frankie Fibro is going to break it down like nobody else can. Voters are casting their ballots for today's special election. A state Senate seat is up for grabs in the 37th district, which represents parts of the lower Hudson Valley. The race pits Democratic Assemblywoman Shelley Mayer up against Republican Rye Councilwoman Julie Killian. The candidates have been throwing jabs at each other for weeks, so we'll see exactly what happens. But the Senate in New Jersey, if you in New York, is a Republican. Can it change? Will it change today? And then Governor Cuomo, he's so funny. And I like Governor Cuomo. Forgive me, you're gonna hate me because I still tell you I like him. But now, no plastic bags, no plastic bags. So I want to know, because he's pandering to the Cynthia Nixon Democrats for this primary. How do we carry our groceries home? Are we doing paper now? Do we have to bring things in? Do we have to pay for them? Why? What? Everything. It's like so weird. It's just weird that we have to worry about these little things. Sure, plastic's bad, but they'll come up with an alternative. All they do is just, dictate to us. Congestion pricing, no plastic bags. Okay, great. Can someone help us and tell us how we can carry our groceries home and not get charged for driving, certain areas of New York City? 13 minutes after 6 o'clock. Oh, ICE arrested 60 people in New Jersey. I'm surprised that Governor Murphy didn't show up. But they were criminals. The operation focused on people convicted of sexual assault and domestic violence, child abuse, and for driving under the influence. So I'm sure we'll hear about that in any case. So just running down the news. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Stay with me here. It looks okay. Yeah, it looks like that Pompeo is going to be nominated. So that'll be great. I'll be confirmed, rather. So last night, I go out every night, and my goal is to not do that, is to kind of stay home with my kids. You want to just stay home. I got Mikey with me. I want to make sure homework's okay. I have a lot of shows that I have to rehearse for. When we go out on the road, you have to put a set list together, and we're into Lorenzo's May 18th. The 19th, I've got this veteran show at a school in Hunterdon County. So it's all good. But Dr. Josephson, my buddy, says you got to go to the Federal Enforcement Homeland Security Foundation, and this is where they raise money for federal law enforcement, helping families out, those lost in the line of duty. And I know it's so sad that we have to do it. You got to do a fundraiser for that the government doesn't cover that, But I was proud to be there. That's when I saw Ray Kelly. Tom Ridge was there. And the first Homeland Security Secretary, and it was great. Then I went, listen to this. Then I got to tell you. So I'm always by myself, right? I'm always by myself. Because if you bring somebody, it's easier by myself. And I'm always by myself. But people take advantage of Joey when I'm by myself. I am Joey Benefit. Joe, come here. Joe, go over there. Go. Now, these are all law enforcement. By the way, Secret Service, Homeland Security, ATF, proud to be with the men and women in that group last night at the plaza. Taking pictures with everybody, great. My goal is, how do I get to sleep? Because I got to get up this early in the morning. So I'm going around, and Tony LoBianco was there with his beautiful wife, Elise. And it was great. I saw everybody, did all that I had to do. How do I exit? And now I'm getting, well, you can stay. Just stay. It'll be midnight. And people don't understand that. You got to work in the morning. And I don't care if it's radio, whatever it is. You got to get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to. So who saved me, do you think? Supermodel Carol Auth. Now, if you're going to be saved by anybody, this is who you ought to be saved by. I'm telling you, it was so great. So I said, Carol, hi. I don't know that I've ever met her before. And beautiful Carol. So I go, she goes, I got to leave early. I looked at her and went, Carol, please don't leave my side. Please don't. Stay right with me. We work together as a couple. This is great. She's not with anybody, and neither am I. So it was all safe. So we worked the whole room, and she was great. They would go, "Hey Joe, take a picture." Hey, that's Carol Auth. Let's take a picture of Carol Auth. So we worked through, and it was great. It was so smooth. So every event I go to, I'm going to call Carol Auth here. She'll go with me. It was great. So I want to thank Carol. She's such a. And then I said to her, "Carol, you got to come on the radio. You got to come on the radio and chat with us." So she very well may come in this morning. So stay tuned. You never know what's going to happen. But is that only me? Only me. And also on the show, Arthur Aidala, again, David Burke, Commissioner Ray Kelly, who we have a great picture of me and Carol and Ray Kelly last night, Mike Gallagher, and Assemblyman Robert Auth will be with us. He's representing the 39th Assembly District in Bergen and Passaic counties. Very innovative guy. And Alexandra Stanton, Democratic strategist, CEO of Empire Global Ventures. We got a lot to talk about, and that will be politics, Piscopo, and everything in between and around. So good morning. Great to have you with us on the 6:17 right now, 17 minutes after 6 o'clock with Joe on the radio. Frankie Five Boroughs is here. Got the whole team with you. Big Al is here. Matt's here, Celia's here, George and Matt are here. Everybody's here. We put it together for you this morning. So all I kept thinking about, Frankie, though, who had the biggest crush on Carol Auth in the studio here, aside from Alda? Maybe he's got his famous Carol Auth story. So I looked at, and Arthur was there, and Arthur was hysterical because he walks in. Who does he see me with? Carol Auth. You think I'll hear the end of this for the rest of my life? Maybe.
No. The first thing he said is, "She's too old for you."
He didn't actually.
You know how that she looks good.
What's the story with Carol Auth? She came into our studio when we were working at ESPN. Yeah. Interviewed her. She was dating Alexa Yashin at the time. Right. Pleasant, beautiful woman.
Yeah,
beautiful, still beautiful.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, how about that? I got out. We were like a wing people. I was her wingman. She was my wing woman, and we did good because you want to pay respects to that. It was actually a great event last night. And
did you have a script?
We met everybody. No, I didn't have a script. The guy, Dr. Joseph, set a script over. We were laughing. We've never had a script set. We appreciate that, but it was great.
Monochromatic,
too. But
it was
nice. Yes, it highlighted as well.
Nice.
So we did it, and it was great, and I was able to function better that way,
And John Katzmatidis was there as
well? I did not see John or Margot, but they may have been at the table with the doc, and I didn't know. I didn't get there. So I could have been
Hit
there.
it and quit it.
Hit it and quit it. Yeah. Hit it and quit it. And it's nice when you get somebody else who kind of gets it.
So did you have to speak?
No.
Oh, so you got to just enjoy the event?
No singing.
Wow.
But I didn't go in the room.
Were you insulted that no one asked you?
Oh, you didn't go in the room? No. See, this is a smart play by him.
Yeah.
He didn't go into the room. Now, if you had gone into the room...
How dare they? Protecting us, the Homeland Security, ATF, putting the lives on the line. They didn't ask me to sing. I am highly insulted. I am offended they didn't ask me to sing.
But this is the right way to do it going forward. If there's a cocktail hour and you don't have to physically go in the room, that's even better. This way they don't corral you and
Al,
go, Joe,
I know,
give us a song.
but you know what happens is when people invite, like when we did the Holy Name Society, it was great, the NYPD, then you're honored, then you're all in. You're all in. I brought the family, and that was a stellar.
Any stalkers show up at this event?
No.
Linda wasn't there?
So it was great with the NYPD and the Holy Name Society like that. But sometimes, and every so often, they'll say, Joe, will you just come with us? And then you could work the cocktail party. That's easier. If that's easier and you walk in and you can go out and you don't have to do a song, you don't have to stay there late. Because I got to tell you, everybody, including the people being honored, want to get out of there, because it's a weeknight,
Yeah, but they forget that you have to be up early because you have
Nobody
to do
cares.
a morning show.
Nobody cares, like Chaz says. No, am I right, Frankie Five Barrels? People do not understand. And it's not us. I got my buddy Big Mike. His father works by the oil refineries, in Rahway on the turnpike there. He's up 3 o'clock every morning. But people will not. They'll say, "Hey, come on out to dinner."
Somebody texted me last night at 7:30. Dinner? Question mark.
Isn't that the best though?
Yeah,
they have no idea.
I'm almost
they have no
ready for
idea.
breakfast. What are you talking about?
Carol Auth understands.
Oh yeah, she does.
She understands. She totally got it. It was great.
Bet enough this thing on Friday starting what time? 7.
What time is that? What time is that now?
7.
No, that's too late.
So we'll get there at 6:30.
Can we do it? Can we do a little early?
Yeah.
See, I told you right from the start.
Right, but you understand.
That's late.
Most people
I want the early bird special.
Yeah. All right. So plan for 6:30, but I think realistically you're looking at 7 o'clock.
All right. I'll get Linda on the phone. Let her know that I'll stand by. Hey, it's Piscopo in the morning. We love you. We love you for listening. We love you for watching. Sometimes we don't know why, but we appreciate you being there. We love you guys. Hey, Debbie, how you doing this morning? 21 minutes after 6 o'clock.
Good. You guys are looking good.
Oh,
you guys
thank
are
you.
looking good this morning.
Thank you. You know what? This is the trick, though. I had the same exact tie on last night.
Oh.
So if Carol Auth comes in or Ray Kelly comes in, they're going to see me dressed exactly the same. I'll just say I stayed up all night. And
Yeah,
just
that's all. Just say you're out partying all night.
Yeah. Oh, don't I wish? Don't I wish? I'm like you. Give me the sleep. Let me get the sleep.
Oh, I can't function after a certain time of the evening.
Well,
I just can't. I have to sleep.
Debbie, when we first went on the radio, the first thing I asked my buddies like Craig Carton, I'd ask a lot of the morning guys, hey, do you stay up all night, right? You stay.
Never.
They said you can't. You'll never.
You can't.
So when you tell somebody, they go, oh, you'll make it. Stay up. They don't understand. You can't.
No clue.
You could, and you, Debbie, like you'll do 5 days a week. People will have you out there, Debbie Duhame. You know that.
Well, you know what it is? I have a limit to how late I'll stay anywhere because I'm like, I've got to be home by a certain time and I've got to be in bed. It's just the way it is,
like Cinderella, baby. I know.
I turned into a pumpkin.
622 on AM 970. The answer. We're streaming and we're YouTubing. Matt's going to post where you could find us on TV or on your smartphone or computer. Debbie's on the roads looking out for you. It's 22 minutes after 6 o'clock on AM 970. The answer.
Hey, Joe, we're seeing problems right now on the Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit between Cranford and Newark Penn. It's all due to a disabled freight train near Union Station, so at least a 20-minute delay there. Also delays on the G train, and that's all due to some ongoing signal problems. Watch for slowdowns on 78 eastbound, getting out toward exit 3. 2 lanes blocked with construction. 22 west at the Garden State Parkway construction. Route 1 is closed northbound at Dean's Lane in South Brunswick. That's an accident. Traffic busy on the Grand Central Parkway west at Northern Boulevard with a crash. And the Staten Island Expressway eastbound right past the Gothols Bridge. Watch out for a crash. Brought to you by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Your unused prescription drugs could end up misused or stolen. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, Saturday, April 28th. Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com. Checking in on the forecast, mostly cloudy today, high of 62. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
You guys, oh, please. We're off already. This is a good. Thank God we have good guests because this is going to be one of those days. I didn't get much sleep, so it's going to be kind of a fun show. 6:23, and I'm looking at eHarmony. You got to go on eHarmony. You go to eHarmony.com and you put in the code Piscopo. You get a free month with eHarmony when you sign up for a 3-month subscription. It's great. I've got a litany of beautiful people of all ages that come out and they say, "Hey, we want to date Joe." Now, Frank had an idea. He just whispered to it, which made me laugh. So I go to eHarmony. I don't put the profile picture because I say, hey, that's Joe Piscopo. I mean, the 4 people that will know it's me and recognize me, they go, hey, that's Joe Piscopo. I don't put the profile picture on. So they don't know it's really it may be a guy with the same name. I just want to be a little bit private, and you could give as much information on eHarmony or as little as you want, but we suggest you do a lot. So Frank is suggesting that I what now?
I said you should put the photo, which is a great photo, by the way. I mean, talk about back-to-back days of impressive photos. First, the Cardinal, you and the Cardinal on Sunday, and then you, Ray Kelly, and Carol Alt on Monday. I mean, either of those two, that's mantle-worthy. But
mantle-worthy.
The
Mickey Mantle-worthy?
No, it could be. Yeah. But so the photo of you and Carol Alt, that should be your profile photo on eHarmony, because the fact that you're on eHarmony shows that you're single and that you're willing to meet someone. But showing a photo of you and Carol Alt, that so raises the caliber of women that are going to apply to date you. Because look, everyone
Frank,
wants to date someone that's slightly out of their league, right?
Well, except my exes.
Well, so,
sorry,
women,
I'm kidding, Your Honor.
Single women out there seeing you with Carol Alt, that is an incentive for them to up their game. And these women that are in this certain almost supermodel category that want to be Carol Alt, they think, oh, if I date Joe Piscopo or if I go out on a date with Joe Piscopo, I get a step closer to being Carol Alt. It's true.
Frank.
All what I said is true. And if you take calls on it, people will agree
You're
with
a
me.
sick man, and that's why I love you, man.
Thank you.
That's great. I can't. eHarmony is where you want to go. The beauty of eHarmony is you will find a meaningful relationship. Kevin Cottrell is a great guy, great broadcaster. I've known many, many years. He's a good guy. Found his wife recently and she found him on eHarmony. Peter Fiveland is this. I always say my favorite. I think probably my favorite entertainer actor is Peter Sellers. No, Peter Sellers. And doesn't Peter Fiveland remind you of Peter Sellers?
He could be,
a character,
depending on the movie.
Yeah, being there. Yeah.
I don't know about being there, but he's straight out of the movie Office Space.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure which character is.
But Peter's all numbers all the time. He found a beautiful gal on eHarmony, and you can too. By the way, eHarmony has helped over 1 million people find their perfect match, and I'm on it just having some fun. And I'm very, very impressed with what eHarmony can do for you. Come see how eHarmony can change your life. Go to eHarmony.com. Get started. Use the code Piscopo. By the way, free month, like I said, with eHarmony when they sign up for a 3-month subscription. eHarmony.com. Use the code Piscopo.
Mike Connors, host of Ask the Lawyer and published in New York Magazine's Top-Rated Lawyers. Whether assisting a client with drafting a will or trust, power of attorney, healthcare proxy, nursing home plan, or other matter, Connors & Sullivan's goal is always the protection of their clients' rights and interests. Connors & Sullivan Attorneys at Law, PLLC, has dedicated attorneys that can help you with estate planning, elder law, and probate. They listen to their clients to learn about their families, their financial picture, and their long-term goals to create a comprehensive plan to meet your objectives. They assist with the complex tax matters that are often involved in estate planning and probate. Contact Connors & Sullivan Attorneys at Law, PLLC, with offices in Brooklyn, Queens, Midtown Manhattan, and Staten Island to schedule a free consultation with an attorney. 718-238-6500. That's 718-238-6500. And listen to Ask the Lawyer right here every Saturday evening at 6.
Joe Walsh. Coming up tonight at 9 on AM 970. The Answer.
This portion of Piscopo in the Morning brought to you by Modell's Sporting Goods Store. You out?
Oh, anytime.
Do we ever grow up? Do guys ever grow up?
No.
Guys never
Why?
grow up.
Why should you?
I don't know. But girls are so much more ahead of guys. I always say this. When I go into a room, like this was like when we went to church with the Cardinal for the Holy Name Society, and I said to Allie, meet us at St. Pat's. So we're all there. Now Joey's there, me and Mikey are there, right. Charlie's there, and my mom is there, and Olivia is there, and Allie gets in a little late. Now it's also very locked down. God bless it, NYPD. The way they could lock down, they locked it down like I've never seen. So Allie's got to go around the other side.
They didn't arrest Linda though.
No. So she is like waving. Allie's waving to us, like she's trying and texting me. Look to your left. She's just right there. Right. I'm like a monkey. I'm like guys are like we're like ooh, me and Joey, and we're like ooh, 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 ooh. We get Allie's waving. The girls can see. They get I could see from my daughters when they walk into a room, they can ascertain a room and have an instinct, a natural instinct of exactly what's going on, who's doing what. God, we're like monkeys. We're going in, and look at us joking about a girl like you. So I have a beautiful model that I'm walking around with last night. Now we're all gaga this morning. I mean, you don't grow up.
Nick Jones hates playing that song, by the way.
What
it is their biggest hit. He hated doing the song. Lou Gramm was the one who really pushed to have that song done, and it's their biggest hit.
Frankie, you think that sounds like a foreign language, what Al just said? There are tens of thousands of people who understood what he just said.
I know.
You and I have no idea what that means. Vince Miko, our buddy from Carnegie Bank, understands. He's a big rock and roll fan.
You understand what I mean.
I do the rock and roll thing. You keep it young.
I try.
In 1980s. We don't want to go beyond that.
Listen, my band is coming back, Judas Priest. They're playing with Deep Purple in September.
You go again?
Yeah, heck yeah.
You gonna go again?
Well, I have two options.
Yes.
I can either go see them at Bethel Woods, upstate, Labor Day weekend, or I could go see them on a Thursday at PNC in September. So we'll see.
PNC's better like that.
Well, I'll have to take the Friday off then. I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I'll do it Labor Day weekend. Beautiful venue in upstate New York.
And we're all hanging this week.
I'll believe that we're hanging this week
when I show up.
When you show up. When you actually walk into the place, then I'll believe it. Because you've had a habit of,
I don't care if I'm the only one there. I'm looking forward to going.
Well, you just
You're
want
just
the
looking
Michael
forward for the food.
Yeah,
exactly.
What's the Michael of Brooklyn thing that you have? That's all you have.
They have this crab avocado shrimp.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It really is. It's
That's
like crack.
all that Frank cares about. You don't care about us?
No, it's like crack. You start eating and you want to just want to keep eating.
I mean, it's the whole menu. I mean, the arrabbiata sauce is
It's the ambiance too. It's the experience.
What they do to artichoke hearts, I didn't even think was possible. It's amazing.
I may take the kids. I'm going to be single from now on and just hang and just.
No, you're not.
I told. Last time I was not the last time I was there, but
unless something happens on eHarmony, I'll let you know.
I didn't want to say this on the air at the time because I wanted this to be a secret, but they haven't done it yet, so I'm going to tell you, and I hope that you will urge Fred and Johnny and John and Michael to do this.
Put them on the spot.
I urged Fred to put up on the premises of Michael's of Brooklyn.
Where's he going with this?
A 40-foot statue of Christopher Columbus. Right?
Why 40 feet?
Well, because 80 feet's too much.
Yeah, Why not 1492 feet?
No.
When he discovered...
No, how are you going to get it?
Yeah, so go ahead.
That's
great.
I think that would be great. I mean, to put up a statue of Columbus at a time when everyone else is trying to tear it down.
I thought you wanted to put a 40-foot cardboard cutout of Piscopo at the front door.
No.
Well, they might do that, but so you should tell Fred that.
Here's my hope. 632 again, and when I say they always go, Joe, you're pro-Trump. I'm pro-America, and I think we're doing pretty darn good. And I think you got to give credit where it's due, whether it's on either side of the aisle. But and I told you this, and I was given permission to chat about it when I got a call from the White House, and they said we want to do an Italian-American Day from Andrew Giuliani and some of the Italian-Americans in the White House. Apparently there are some. I told you this before the radio. They said, "What can we do for you, Joe?" And I think about all the things. What am I going to ask the White House? I said, if the President of the United States can say, Columbus discovered America, boom, mic drop, walk out. And President Trump he's the kind of guy that would just say that.
Totally.
And so that, stay tuned for that. I mean, and I don't even know if that's going to happen. I know they're a little busy right now with some world affairs, so
I saw.
I don't want to press it, This Pompeo confirmation, is it going to happen today already?
It could be. So it passed a key Senate panel yesterday.
Huge.
I think now it's going to go to the full Senate. He had Rand Paul support in this in this subcommittee. In this committee.
That broke last night, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I do think he's probably headed to a smooth confirmation at this point.
I mean, is there anybody better? I mean, really? And who are the Democrats voting against it? Do we know?
Well, most of them.
Do you really?
Yeah. But the Republicans have a majority, so as long as he gets all the Republicans, he'll get confirmed with no problem.
All right, and we'll talk about Macron with Donald J. Trump. This is a reality show. It's the president and the French guy. I don't know what. That's not the name. There's a cute little name. It's like a reality show.
I think it's great. I mean, look, they do have a lot in common. Both of them have had some success in business. Both of them married partners far outside of their age group. Neither one of them had run for office before getting the top office in their party. So I think it's an interesting thing to watch.
And as we're going to go to Al locally, but this terror in Toronto, what's happening, it looks like it's terror, but we don't know that it's ISIS related or anything like that.
No, so far from what I've seen, no terrorist group has claimed responsibility so far. So we don't know what happened here. Could have been someone deranged. Could have been someone that's some sort of a terrorist. Could have been some sort of a white supremacist. Nobody knows what the motivation here is yet.
All right. Well, and you don't want to jump conclusion, but I mean, really, of course, this creep, this cockroach creep, was influenced, by these terrorists, and our hearts go out to lives lost in Toronto. What a beautiful city! I mean, Toronto.
I don't think I've ever been up there.
It's spectacular. Matter of fact, the largest number of Italians in North America are in Toronto,
really,
Canada. Yep. It's a whole section. They came to Toronto again, not in, you would think New York, you think in Jersey somewhere. It's Toronto. It's a glorious city. But this is, and we'll go to Al, but let me leave you with this and we'll chat about it. Canada as beautiful, and I can't tell you, I've toured Canada inside out and backwards, and I have immense respect and love for the Canadians. Like I said about my daughters, Canada, they have a great perspective. When you go on the radio, for example, in Canada, they take it really seriously, and they have very introspective questions. Their reporters are great. The press is great. I just love the country, but they're going to lose their identity because people are coming in from all over. And they're just asking the country to assimilate to them, and that's what we're trying to stop here in America. And they're letting it, and Trudeau's allowing that to happen. I'm jumping the gun here because this may not be a terrorist attack, but and it's just dangerous in London as well. They're losing their identity by letting everybody come in, and rather than saying could be a Londoner, be part of the British Empire, be part of England. They always say, no, you have to be like us. You have to have our laws. That's what's happening here. And that's why you hear the president say we have to have immigration, illegal immigration control.
Well, again, not in the context of this, this Toronto attack, because we don't know anything about what happened here. But to your broader point, I think you're exactly right. And I think that's one of the reasons everyone scratches their head. Why are these far right-wing parties picking up so much steam in Hungary and in France and in Italy and elsewhere? This is why, because and even in Germany, these countries are seeing their identities erased at the altar of multiculturalism and at the altar of diversity. And some of the people that grew up remembering what Germany was, or France, or Hungary, or Russia, they don't want to see their country disappear. And it's not a racial thing;
no.
It's a cultural thing. They want a country that's proud of its traditions, that recognizes its border, that celebrates its language, and it's not just becoming an international hodgepodge of third worldism.
Yeah. Look at John Catsimatidis, our friend John. It comes from Greece. And now he owns it, man. He's here. He's one of the most successful businessmen in the country.
In the world.
In the world, with beautiful Margot. That is a great American success story. He has the Greek parade. He sponsors the Greek parade that was on this weekend. That was great. He had the Catsimatidis float. But he always says, first, what is John Catsimatidis? First and foremost.
Right, I'm an immigrant.
I'm an immigrant, and I'm an American. And it's important that we understand America first.
Bruno Sammartino, who just passed away at the age of 82.
I'm sorry. You must have been upset. I was upset. He
came here as an Italian immigrant, right?
Built
himself up purely through hard work, right? He didn't know anyone. His father didn't give him a job. Purely through hard work and dedication, became the most famous wrestler in the world, certainly in the country.
Yep.
And, it really goes to show you that there is still still a tremendous pathway for American success if you're willing to work for it. Sure, it's tough. But it's tough for everybody, right? So I don't think people should come here expecting everything to be done for them. And a lot of immigrants, even illegal aliens, do come here with the best of intentions, but none of those folks that came here, John Catsimatidis and his father, Bruno Sammartino, or even a lot of the, people that come into the country these days, the folks that go to Stuyvesant High School, almost all of them, 60, 70% Asian. They're the children of immigrants, right? And they all came here expecting to contribute and be a part of the American dream, not bring Mexico or China or Greece or Italy to this country and just become Mexico North. That's not what's supposed to happen.
Frankie Five Boroughs with Piscopo in the morning, 6:39. Big Al standing by very patiently, I might add. He has the headline news on AM 970, The Answer.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970, The Answer.
47 degrees at 6:39. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. A 3-alarm fire is burning through a row of businesses in the Bronx. Broke out just before 5:30 this morning on East 194th Street in Fordham. Columns of thick black smoke can be seen for miles as fire consumes multiple stores. No injuries reported. No word yet on what sparked the fire. Governor Cuomo is introducing a bill that would ban the use of single-use plastic bags in New York State. Cuomo says plastic bags are a blight that takes a devastating toll on streets, water, and natural resources. The bill would exempt garment bags, trash bags, or any bags used to wrap or contain certain foods, such as sliced meats and fruits. If approved, the measure would go into effect next January 1st. Hospitals in New York and Connecticut rank among the worst in the nation for safety. The Leapfrog Group's annual report that examines hospital errors, accidents, and infections puts New York hospitals at 48 and Connecticut hospitals at 46. Only 8 New York hospitals got an A grade and 5 got an F, including 3 in Brooklyn. New Jersey fared much better, coming in at 17 on the list, with 22 Garden State hospitals getting an A grade. That includes 3 in Bergen County. In sports, Giancarlo Stanton went 4 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs. Yankees smoked the Twins 14-1. Didi Gregorius added a grand slam. Miguel Andujar and Tyler Austin also went deep for the Yankees. Masahiro Tanaka got his 3rd win on the season. Stuck in traffic? Debbie Duhame's got the answer.
Let's see what's happening right now, Alice. You head over to the Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit. 20-minute delays between Cranford and Newark Penn. It's all due to a disabled freight train. We're seeing delays on the downtown F train, and that's all due to some ongoing signal problems. Inbound side of the GWB up to 40 minutes already. Lincoln 25, Holland 20. Southbound New York State Thruway slowing down into the Tappan Zee Bridge. Northbound New York State Thruway getting up toward exit 9 into Tarrytown, the beginning of the span at the Tap. Heading into Rockland, some construction being cleared. Watch for delays on the westbound belt at Cross Bay Boulevard. That's a collision. And Route 1 northbound is still closed into Dean's Lane getting into South Brunswick. And that's all due to an ongoing accident investigation. You'll be detoured around the problem. Cloudy today with a high of 62. Rain likely for tomorrow with a high going up to 59 degrees. Alternate side parking rules are in effect for today citywide. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970. The Answer.
Sponsored by Indeed. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions. Then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire.
Join the family at Modell Sporting Goods. Visit your nearest Modell's and sign up for our MVP Rewards program to receive insider deals all year round. Earn points on every purchase when you use your MVP card to earn Modell's cash back. It's our way of thanking you for being a loyal customer. Upon signing up, receive 10% off your purchase and 15% off your next purchase. It's that simple. Plus, new MVPs this month are eligible to win a $500 Modell's gift card. When you gotta play more and pay less, you gotta go to Moe's.
Inmate 834-79053. Convict Congressman Michael Grimm.
Crimes committed by convict Congressman Grimm: 20 counts of fraud. Guilty. Perjury? Guilty. Hiring illegal aliens? Guilty. And while the people of New York work hard to make an honest living, convict Congressman Grimm owes nearly $1 million in taxes he tried to hide, and then made a shady deal with D.C. swamp lobbyists to pay off his debts. Now Grimm thinks he deserves the chance to represent us in Congress again. No way! As your former district attorney, Dan Donovan believes in law and order, which is why Dan Donovan is working with President Trump to build a wall and deport dangerous illegal immigrant gang members. Dan Donovan stands tough with Donald Trump.
I'm Dan Donovan, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donovan for Congress.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services. Oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready.
Oh, I'm ready! Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Hey, it's Piscopo in the morning. Good morning. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We're streaming. Hi, I'm waving to you. Hi, how are you? We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube. If you go to am970theanswer.com, you will see guys who have faces for radio, but happy to have you watching this morning. So if you're tired of plain old ice cream, we have what you should be eating and what you're going to love. L'Artigiano Gelato. We are so excited to tell you about this. L'Artigiano Gelato is made from fresh Italian milk, pistachios and lemons from Sicily, right? Fresh strawberries from Rome. Do you hear what Joey's telling you? Chocolate from Perugia. Excuse me. Each ingredient blended together using the L'Artigiano family's 100-year-old recipe to bring you a product that's not only organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, but kosher as well, and just a flavor that you're not going to believe. We had it with Sal Cipriano. This is a great kid. This is a great kid. He's a young kid, a very smart kid. Comes in, he goes, look, I've attached myself to L'Artigiano Gelato here. And he brought in the product in the studio. We could not believe how great this is. And then they got the sorbet for me. I said, you got sorbet? Yes, they have the sorbet. So you have to look for L'Artigiano Gelato. Okay, will you do that for Joey? You will love it. It'll be your favorite. It's real Italian gelato. You can taste how creamy pistachio is, how soft chocolate is, how fresh strawberry is, how crisp the lemon is. I know you're dying right now, right? Gelato with a stronger taste. L'Artigiano Gelato from the pristine hills of Perugia. Quality craftsmanship, tradition, unforgettable flavor. You can go to Gristides, D'Agostino, Uncle Giuseppe's has L'Artigiano Gelato, Cittarella, Food Emporium, Uncle Gino's Market, Lavodi's Key Food. Just check out L'Artigiano Gelato, the real maestros in making gelato.
Eric Metaxas, the show about everything, coming up tonight at 11 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the smartwaytobuy.com studios.
They would do 2 shows for a night for 2 weeks straight, at least. That's 14 shows, boom, right in a row. And then he was shooting Ocean's 11 around that time. So they would get up in the morning, but it was a late call for films, like 9-ish in the morning. They would get up, do their scenes, hopefully rested. Did they take a nap? I don't know. But then they would go do 2 shows at night. Unbelievable.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, back then, right? And the B and the B, the booze and the gals. Well, I don't want to say, I don't want to be inappropriate, but yeah, so look at this guy. He was like a monster, right? And so anyway, thanks for that. Now I wanted to put my set list together as I go into Lorenzo's. Now Avi Dershowitz is going to be there. Professor, is that right?
He said he's coming.
We put his favorite song that he wants on the set list. Wow. I told Ricky Gordon, conducting, My Way is in. And I never do.
I know. That's something.
Listen, the old man does My Way, And then Paul Anka can do My Way because he wrote it, of course. The great Paul Anka. Elvis can do whatever he wants. He did it. Leave it alone. Monty Rock III, I know what you're thinking. Monty Rock III, yeah. 4 people just got that, Frank. You like that. But you don't do My Way. People go, if I see one more person with a hat on his head, and now get off the stage because that's the old man's tune. But when Professor Dershowitz asks for it and requests it, when we were at Geraldo's book signing party, I'm going to put it in the set. So
I think it's going to be something. He, I don't even know that he was requesting it. He just knew that you didn't sing it. So
he knew that?
Yes, I don't know.
Wow.
He knows everything.
Wow, yeah. We thought he was going to ask me some political question or something. Right. My Way. And then a very good year would probably be redundant if I did When I Was 21. So I think I'll just do My Way. And then you know what I have to eliminate from the set list? 649 with Frank and Joe and Al. Is
anything Cosby related?
No. What? Yeah. What? No. I think that Old MacDonald shouldn't be in. Old MacDonald. It's so politically incorrect and sexist. Remember, the 3 of us were.
I think you should only do politically incorrect.
No, it's like really. We'll have to play it and you have to listen to it because it really swings. And I did it on a Showtime special, but it was like the chick here with the curve there and this chick. It was just too sexist. I can't. Right. You know, I don't think. I think so. I apologized to the gentleman who walked over and said, "Joe, you got to do Old MacDonald. We'll replace it with something else. We'll have some fun." Joe Piscopo on the radio. Hey, Frankie Five Boroughs are here. It's a crazy morning. We have a great show for you. Believe it or not, don't use this hour. We're just getting settled. We're getting settled in with you right here in the morning. 10 minutes before 7 o'clock. Alexandra Stanton is on. Allie, Debbie is my daughter. Allie. She wants to be called Allie. I call her Alexandra.
Okay.
That's a beautiful name, Alexandra, right?
Yes, it is. Very beautiful.
Alexandra Stanton, Democratic strategist, will join us. And Debbie Duhame is on the roads. How you doing this morning, Deb?
I'm doing great. I have a niece, Alexandra, too, and we all call her Allie.
She wants Allie, right?
Yeah, she wants Allie, you know? I guess, it just depends, what your preference is,
I heard
right?
Arthur Aidala likes Artie. He likes us to call him that.
I'll call him Artie from now on. I've never heard anyone call him Artie.
You don't want to have David Burke on the show. Look at it, Commissioner Ray Kelly. Look at this show Frankie Five Boroughs put together.
The best.
Mr. Mike Gallagher,
Great.
Assemblyman Robert Auth. So we are in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
So
good stuff.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's a very light, crazy first hour. Then we're going to get into it. Really, we have a show after this.
Yes, well, we like this intimate hour. This intimate hour is nice. We enjoy it.
The people come up and they listen to 6 to 7, and it's our kitchen table. Really, our intimate kitchen table. It's the family, man. For better or for worse, by the way.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Any gossip before we go to 7 o'clock and start the newsy kind of show? Do you want to tell us anything, Deb? Can you let us know?
I can't tell you.
No, you don't talk, girl. You don't talk, woman.
Whenever people ask me something private about you, I said, just listen to Joe between 6 and 7. He'll tell you. I don't like to talk about people. I said, just listen. You'll hear it all.
We spill it out. We do.
We tell all little secrets here, yes.
Debbie Duhame, 651 on AM 970, The Answer.
Good morning to you, Joe, Frank, and Al. Good morning to everybody listening. We're going to go out over to the Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit. 20-minute delays between Cranford and Newark Penn. It's all due to a disabled freight train over by Union Station. We're still seeing delays on the downtown F train, and that's all due to some ongoing signal problems. Heading over to the Belt Parkway West at Cross Bay Boulevard, a collision over there. Deegan North by the stadium, an accident. Delays going back to the RFK Bridge. Route 1 northbound, subject to closure at Dean's Lane into South Brunswick. That's an accident as well. Heading to the inbound GWB, about an hour to the upper, 30 to the lower. Lincoln 35, Holland still 25. Alternate side parking in effect. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Hi, Kevin McCullough. You've heard me frequently talk about the number of children in Haiti that face cruel and unusual circumstances. Friends, it's an inhumane reality to understand that children are constantly facing these realities and that acts of nature have only made them worse. But we can do something about that. Our friends Food for the Poor have been on the ground for more than 30 years in Haiti, and right now we have the opportunity to help rescue 520 Haitian children for the coming year. $50 will feed a child for the full year and supply clean drinking water, purified, beautiful, delicious, clean drinking water for the rest of their life. And due to a very generous matching gift, for those of you that can do at least 3 children in the next 10 minutes, so a one-time gift of $150, your gift will be automatically doubled. But a gift of any size helps right now rescue a child. 855-919-4673. That's 855-919-4673. Have you ever had a legal question pertaining to elder law or estate law and wondered what's the best course of action to take? During Kevin McCullough Radio, you'll hear from Mike Connors of Connors & Sullivan, Attorneys at Law, answering a real listener's actual question. If you have a legal question for Mike Connors, the Ask the Lawyer host, simply email the question to mikeconnors@gmail.com. That's mikeconnors@gmail.com. Or call Mike's office at 718-238-6500 and see for yourself. That's Ask the Lawyer with Mike Connors every Saturday evening at 6 on AM 970, The Answer.
Butler Builders understands that strong buildings and strong communities start with a network of strong construction professionals. When you work with a Butler builder like Stuart Berger Construction, established in 1959 as your local builder in New York City and on Long Island, you're building on more than concrete and steel. You're building relationships. Call Stuart Berger Construction, 212-925-7405. That's 212-925-7405. Or online at stewartberger.com. That's stewartberger.com.
It's the AM 970 Weather Answer Forecast.
Some sunshine today will give way to increasing clouds, still rather mild, high 63. Then periods of rain tonight, low 48 to 52. Tomorrow, cloudy and cooler with rain in the morning, tapering off in the afternoon, the high 58. Thursday, clouds breaking for some sunshine, breezy and milder again, high 64. AM 970, The Answer.
Right. All right, we're going to gossip past 7 o'clock. We got to do some business here. All right, we'll gossip maybe when we come back.
Maybe we could talk about it at Dino and Harry's.
Yeah, I'll tell you, love going to Dino and Harry's 5 minutes before 7 o'clock. Thank you, Joe Lumberg. Dino and Harry's is the #1 steakhouse in New Jersey. You listen to your pal Joey if you'd be so kind to do that, because I don't eat red meat generally, but when I do, I go to Dino and Harry's. Dino is there. Now, I love the ambiance of a restaurant, of a great restaurant. And if you go to 163 14th Street, right in Hoboken, New Jersey, baby, you know the hometown of who? Mr. Francis Albert. You know they shot City Hall there with Danny Aiello, my buddy, and Al Pacino. They shot on the waterfront at Dino and Harry's. Enormous windows, vaulted ceilings, hand-carved cherrywood bar, flora there, waiting to give Al a mojito. I've never seen Al drink anything other than a beer. He goes to Dino and Harry's. He has the fancy drinks over there that Flora makes. Those great drinks, the mojitos. And you could have chicken, yes. And fresh vegetables, yes. And unbelievable appetizers at Dino and Harry's. I always order the steak. I get a filet mignon. We butterfly it. They cook it just the way I like it. And it is, I'll tell you, the cut of meat there, right there in Hoboken at Dino and Harry's, you could see why it's the #1 steakhouse in all of the Garden State. So you got to check out Dino and Harry's, and you can go to dinoandharrys.com, check out the menu and make reservations. And I heard the Mannings hang out there. We hang out there. You never know who you're going to see there. Has there been an Artie Lang sighting over there, Dino and Harry's? You never know. You got to go. You got to check it out. Tell Dino, first of all, Dino and Harry's is right there on 14th Street in Hoboken, New Jersey. And here's the number, 201-659-6202. It's 201-659-6202. But when you see Dino over there, please, and you see the gang over there, you tell him that your pal Joe Piscopo sent you. Dino and Harry's.
Mike Gallagher, live from our Wall Street studios. Coming up at 10 a.m. on AM 970, The Answer.
How I got here. It's 6:57 with Joe on the radio. 877-970-2999.
In the snow.
So what happened?
You walked down the street in the snow and you got trapped. You went to dinner.
So I know, but it's so funny because I'm on the show and it's so fun. This is like where I guess I should be. It's just everything that's happening.
Those you off today. Those Forster Grants.
Yeah, a little bit because they're brown and I'm wearing black and I don't like the mismatch like that. So I've been having them on and off. But I put them on to
As
read
Chaz
properly.
Says, nobody cares.
Nobody cares,
In the
Joey.
LBC,
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
So I'm here with the guys, with the knuckleheads, and it's so funny at this point in my life. There's so much going on, and it's very, very interesting. And you guys are like therapy for me. I just want you to know that.
Oh, good.
So, so what do you think, Frank? We talk about. We got to get to the news when we come back. We'll get to the news.
Sounds
By the
good.
way, this whole big Senate race in New York, that's really big. New York State.
I hope we can talk about next, because turnout is expected to be very low, and this could change the whole face of New York State.
Yeah, and nobody knows New York politics, by the way, better than Frankie Five Boroughs, so check that out. Also, Alexandra Stanton will be with us, Democratic strategist. We'll talk about this, the preview of this Macron dinner. Arthur Aidala, Artie Aidala with us. David Burke is coming in live, man, in the 8 o'clock hour. You never know what David's going to make for us. You don't want to miss that. A legend, a true law enforcement legend, Commissioner Ray Kelly with us, Mr. Mike Gallagher, Assemblyman Robert Auth. We got the show for you right here, Radio Piscopo from New York.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970. The Answer.
46 degrees at 6:59. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. New Jersey's largest city offering free vaccinations today. Those are nice Ronald Reagan socks. Guess who got those for you, Joe Piscopo? Newark is holding a vaccination clinic starting at 10 this morning at City Hall. It's in recognition of National Immunization Week, and it's for kids ages 2 to 18. There's a thief in the Bronx who's targeting elderly people who use walkers. Police say there have been 2 incidents in the same Morrisania apartment house since February. They've released video of a man wearing an orange or red hooded sweatshirt, putting a 68-year-old man in a chokehold from behind, then dragging him to a stairwell. He's stealing wallets and cell phones and terrorizing people who live in the building. In the sports, Yankees crushed the Twins 14-1. You now know what's going on. I'm Al Gattulo, AM 970, The Answer.
From the studios of AM 970, The Answer, on Broadway and Wall Street in Manhattan, this is WNYM, Hackensack, New Jersey, New York City.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Canada's largest city is in shock and mourning, with so many questions unanswered after the driver of a van mowed down pedestrians on a busy sidewalk along one of Toronto's key thoroughfares. 10 people killed, 15 others injured.
At this stage, I ask the City of Toronto pray for our victims and also to assist the Toronto Police Service in bringing this matter to a successful conclusion.
Toronto Police Deputy Chief Peter Ewan says 25-year-old suspect is in custody, captured a few blocks from the scene. Police say the act definitely looked deliberate, but the motive is not clear, according to Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders.
We are all collaborating, and we're all putting our pieces together to see exactly what we have. And at this particular point in time, there's nothing that does affect the national security footprint. We are looking very strongly to what the exact motive or motivation was for this particular incident to take place.
Accused of killing 4 people in a shooting Sunday at a Tennessee Waffle House, Travis Reinking is now behind bars, facing 4 counts of criminal homicide, being held on $2 million bond. Former President George H.W. Bush hospitalized in Houston with an infection.
The elder Bush is said to be responding to treatments and appears to be recovering. Family spokesman Jim McGrath says the former president was admitted Sunday morning to a hospital in Houston, one day after his wife of 73 years, Barbara, was laid to rest. History.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. After clearing a Senate committee last night, the nomination of Mike Pompeo for Secretary of State now heads to the full Senate for a confirmation vote. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures are up 141 points. NASDAQ futures 43 points higher. S&P futures are up 15 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If credit card debt has you down, nonprofit Trinity Debt Management can help. Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees, and drastically reduce your interest. You'll pay thousands less than you originally owed. It's not a loan. It's a way to become debt-free and possibly improve your credit score. So call Trinity and talk to a certified counselor. They'll explain their proven program to you with no pressure, just practical solutions and hope for tomorrow. Are you ready to pay off your credit cards in less time for less money? Then call for a free, no-obligation debt analysis and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
If you're feeling run down and you don't have the energy that you used to, it's probably because you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. It's time to try Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in capsule form. Balance of Nature is not like ordinary vitamins that are made with synthetics. It's just natural food in a vegetarian capsule with tens of thousands of vital nutrients from 100% whole food plants, fruits, and vegetables. Each capsule has 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and once you start taking Balance of Nature, you'll feel great. People report that their skin looks better, they have less aches and pains, and they have a lot more energy. It's time to improve the quality of your life. Call Balance of Nature, 1-800-2468-751, and use the promo code The Answer for 35% off your first month's supply, or go to balanceofnature.com. But make sure you use the promo code The Answer. Good health is only a phone call away. Call Balance of Nature, 800-2468-751. Use the promo code The Answer.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer.
Over on Route 1 northbound, everything closed getting up toward Deans Lane in South Brunswick. It's an accident investigation. 22 west at the Garden State Parkway, 2 lanes blocked with construction. 78 eastbound exit 3, construction cleared. Inbound GWV about an hour to the upper level, 30 to the lower. Lincoln 35 in. Holland 25 minutes getting into town. Deegan north at the stadium, that's an accident. Watch for some delays on the westbound belt into Cross Bay Boulevard. A collision blocking 2 lanes there. Traffic is busy on the LIE westbound getting out toward Little Neck Parkway. William Floyd Parkway heading north at Sunrise Highway. That's a collision. Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit. Delays between Cranford and Newark Penn with a disabled freight train. And the southbound New York State Thruway picking up volume heading into the Tappan Zee Bridge. Clouds today with a high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Live from the smartwaytobuy.com studios.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day with your host, former Saturday Night Live superstar Joe Piscopo. Produced by Frank Morano with news guy Al Gottulo and traffic with Debbie Duhame. This is Piscopo in the morning on AM 970. The Answer.
Wonder, where he played the harmonica. My goodness gracious, I think he was like 13 years old or something when he first came on the scene. A great guy, a longtime friend, Stevie. Haven't seen him in many years, but just a brilliant, brilliant talent. Can you be religious and superstitious? I don't know. We asked that before. You could answer the question 877-970-2999. I don't believe in superstition. I believe you can step on the baseline if you're going out to the pitcher's mound and going out to the outfield. You're in baseball. People will not step on that foul line, fair line, whatever it is. Boom, I could step right on it. Because I have no superstition. It's all, I put my faith in God. The journey is laid out. How about that? You buying any of this? I hope so. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock with Joe Piscopo. So George is making the espresso. George, did you get the espresso? What seal you get the espresso? So we got the really one thing they splurged at the station, which we appreciate, is they have the ultimate coffee machine. And I go to different stations around the country, and I work radio, Salem stations, and other stations, and they all have this coffee machine. We got the coffee machine. So I went out and I pressed a triple espresso to keep me pumped up this morning. And because I didn't get sleep, and I'll tell you why in a second. No, not what you're thinking. So, no, stop, Al. So George goes, oh, I put sugar in your espresso. like that.
Oh.
See, now, but I know
He
Italian.
should know better than that.
Italian. Well, he's a black man. He doesn't know about the Italians. Kidding.
It's
I'm
nothing to
kidding.
do with his
Stop.
race. He
Listen,
just assumed that you liked sugar in
and
your coffee.
you know what?
Well,
everybody
espresso is bitter, so.
Everybody puts sugar in their espresso.
No,
Am I right or wrong?
I put Sambuca.
George, did you put sugar in yours? Espresso. You put yes. But everybody, you put what?
Sambuca.
Oh, yeah, Sambuca in the
Of course.
espresso.
Well, not in the morning.
Of course,
so.
Frank. No,
You go to screenings at HBO, they have Sambuca for the espresso.
Yeah, it's exactly right. No, you do in the morning. Put Sambuca.
No, I
in
don't.
your
I don't.
You do.
The only
It's
time
okay.
I'm always sober is
we're
on
past
the radio.
we're past the intimate hour, but you can be honest.
I'm serious. I'm serious. I never drink on the
But
radio.
don't you? Why do I remember espresso with the cube sugar in it?
Yeah,
Boom, and
right.
then with the little
lemon peel.
a lemon peel and the little spoon.
Yeah.
And those, so, and then that's exactly so. I don't, but I try not to have too much sugar because I have too much. You know, I have the Gatorade all the time. I have the red Gatorade. Joey, my son, goes, Dad, you can't keep drinking that because of the sugar. But am I right or
You
wrong?
work out so much
Well-
that I don't think it's as big of a factor. For
Just
you.
talking to Matt. See how good this kid looks? I could tell. The kid works out. He works out. He goes, thanks. Coming from you is great. So I told him. We just had the conversation while I'm waiting for my espresso. I said, when I stopped working out for 6 weeks, Frankie Five Bros. Do you hear Joey telling you? Mr. Workout, 6 weeks I stopped working out. Why? Because I worked out. I was telling the Secret Service guys yesterday at this big event, the law enforcement event last night. I said, I was making them laugh. I said, I had appendicitis. I walked out of there without a problem. Thank God it didn't burst. I walked in, walked out. The doctor was amazed how strong it was. I said, I'm an animal. I don't need this. I got this. Just when you think that, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. I give myself a hernia because I worked out too soon after the appendix surgery, right? So now I took 6 weeks off. The doctor said don't. Dr. Carl, who's really, he's like one of my closest friends, don't even think about it. And I didn't work out. So then I was doing the little wussy workout downstairs with the gym with my biceps, my chest, do a little back, not much legs, just to maintain. Then I went for it. I went to the gym, Frankie. I went to the gym. I went on the Cybex. I
didn't even know what that is. Cybex?
Oh, it's a good. The Cybex is the smoothest machine when you work out. And I do supersets that I learned from Arnold superset that Franco Columbo and Arnold would do. Listen to me. I did the chest. You do double sets of chest. Boom, boom. Biceps. Boom. Abs. Boom. Went through. Did legs. Everything. My body goes, oh, I remember this. Boom. And all of a sudden, yesterday, I was not afraid to look at myself in the mirror for 6 weeks. I would catch a glimpse of myself. Like that. So I think I'm back. Not to where I want to be.
Oh, you look great. Seriously.
You could ask Carol Wall what she thinks.
I will. I saw some.
You kidding me? I don't have a chance. I don't have a chance. That gal's been with the most gorgeous hockey players ever. I mean, one after another, and so we're just pals, and it was great last night with Carol Auth. We had this great event, and we saw Ray Kelly. He's a. First of all, talk about being in shape. Commissioner Kelly's coming on the program. This guy is in incredible shape.
Joe, you talk about a guy like that's a modern day Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, you're right. The guy works out.
Yeah,
like
tell
you.
us about Ray Kelly. Ray's coming on in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
but
he's such a humble guy that I really can't. He would not tolerate this.
That's exactly right. He's a very humble guy.
So he's in incredible shape. He works out like crazy every day. You shake hands with him, and you get a sense, even though I think he's 75, 76, how strong he is.
He's 75, 76, you're
then,
right. Yeah.
you want to talk about a guy that's a decorated police officer, has held every rank in the police department, starting from patrolman, went all the way up to commissioner, longest-serving commissioner in the history of the NYPD. Yeah. Then his service in the military as a Marine in the Marines, in service in Vietnam. He's a full colonel in the Marine Corps.
Wow.
Then, forgetting about what he did in the Marines, forgetting about what he did in the police department, forgetting about what a snazzy dresser he is, what a great writer he is. The guy is an incredibly accomplished academic. So not only does he have a law degree, he has an LLM, which is a master's of law. So that's like an extra degree after a law degree.
You have to study for that.
Yeah, to study. There's a lot of schooling and tests.
Al, not for me and you.
But Joe, then not only that, he has a master's of public administration from the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. So, Joe, Harvard.
So how, answer me this, and this comes from you, Frank Morano. Why is, and I said this to the commissioner yesterday, Commissioner Kelly, Why aren't you the head of the FBI? There's the head of the FBI right there.
Well, and the best thing about it is, even though he has a lot of experience both in the federal government and the private sector and in law enforcement, he's not from the same bubble that keeps screwing up the FBI. You know, the Mueller, Comey,
you said it from day one.
Christopher Wray.
Wait, maybe there's still
bubble. I don't know.
He won't want. We'll ask him. Yeah, it'd be okay to ask him, right?
I don't know that he wants to talk about that. You know,
Good picture. Me and Ray with Carol Auth. Come on.
Great picture. Huh? Distinguished guy, though.
He is, and we are proud to bring Ray Kelly to the airwaves.
Oh, and an incredible musician.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Stop it now.
He's a real Renaissance man. You've got to see him play the drums.
Carol Auth would have left with him instead of me. She known all this. Are you kidding me? Where am I getting stuck? She blown me off going with Ray Kelly. Are you kidding? She was just being nice to me. What's he play? Like what?
He plays the drums.
Yeah. Lorenzo? Can we have a guest shot? Guest shot? A drum off with Piscopo and Ray Kelly? Oh.
And that's one of the things that so offended me about de Blasio's candidacy in 2013. Here's a guy, they were both Dinkins guys, right? They both worked in the Dinkins administration. And Ray Kelly, what he presided over, both under the Dinkins administration and the Bloomberg administration, unparalleled reductions in crime. De Blasio basically ran for mayor 5 years ago now on a platform of the police are screwing up New York City. Over-policing is the problem. Now, you talk about a guy who is a textbook example of how to be a police commissioner and run a department. It's Ray Kelly. And for de Blasio to treat the men and women of the police department the way that he did in that campaign, I mean, it's shameful. His rhetoric has toned down quite a bit the last few years. I'm sure that's due in no small part to Bratton and O'Neill, but I will never get over how he treated Ray Kelly in 2013.
I know. And Commissioner Kelly would like us to say Commissioner O'Neill doing a great job, and Bill Bratton, of course, did a great job. But and the NYPD, all in all, just doing a great job. It'd be great to have somebody from those ranks head the FBI. And Frank, you're absolutely right. David Burke is on the show. You don't know it's David in about an hour, less than an hour. We never know what David's going to bring in, what story he's going to tell. We love having David Burke on the program. You know him from Iron Chef America. Mike Gallagher coming on. Mike on at 10 o'clock. He'll preview live in the studio exactly what he'll be talking about. Assemblyman Robert Auth is a good guy. He's a Republican representing the 39th Assembly District in Bergen and Passaic County. And we're going to talk, it's all about taxes. And if you saw the press conference yesterday with the governor of New Jersey, Governor Murphy, and nothing, personal, it's all about taxes. They're raising the property tax and the sales tax and saying, oh, it's only going to be about $86 a family. How do you throw those numbers around? Oh, it's only $86 a family, and we'll give it back to you. Stop with the taxes. I'm coming up with a plan, 5 boroughs. And old Joe here, from my research when we were going to go into the office, and it ain't over yet, I got news for you, because everybody I meet, they're just so fed up with taxes. They said, Joe, please run and just take the state back. So I hear you, but I still want to give Governor Murphy a chance, because with Steve Sweeney as head of the Senate, there's a chance of some common sense politics.
Why do you want to give him a chance?
Because
he's been in office for 4 months, and all he wants to do is raise taxes, raise taxes. No, it shouldn't be a break.
It's a Jersey thing.
Here's a guy yesterday. He goes, well, we're going to put the sales tax back to 7%. Okay, Governor, by the way, if you do that, you're going to have the 23-cent gasoline tax is going to get taken away. Oh, no. The 23-cent gas tax is going to stay, and we're going to raise the sales tax to 7%. This guy's a one-term governor. You can't keep taxing people over and over and over again. The millionaires are leaving. The jobs are leaving. The big companies are leaving. Next is going to be people. One woman during the story yesterday saying, I'm buying a house in Florida. I'm getting out of here. This is ridiculous. What is he doing? All he wants to do is give away. Enough already.
Well, it's interesting, and like John Bramnick, the minority leader in the Assembly, he understands you have to create revenue. So what I'm doing is I'm going with our mutual friends, and I guess I could talk. I'm going to the union guys who have some great ideas how to create jobs in Jersey with some public-private partnerships. I don't understand why there's no initiatives like that in New York and New Jersey. Why they don't go to Buffalo and do that. Why they don't go to Patterson and do that. I'm going to the plans. Where am I going? To the unions. Oh, you can't go to the unions? Well, I'm going to the unions. And we're going to have one of the union guys You know the attorney I'm talking about, and we can mention his name, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
His name Vincent Pitta, of the great firm
great.
Pitta, Bishop, Del Giorno, and Giblin.
And Vincent's great. And I said, I need your help to put these initiatives to create jobs. I know exactly what to do. I just need some power to do it. And I think we sit down with Assemblyman Bramnick and with the President of the Senate, Steve Sweeney, and then we create jobs in Jersey. It's revenue. You create revenue. Like our buddy Vinny in Belleville always says, 717 right now, 718, is you got to cut the spending for sure, but create the revenue. They don't create the revenue.
Well, wait when the big Meadowlands thing doesn't happen.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the big Meadowlands thing that they've been talking about for years is supposed to happen. It's been now over 10 years.
Yeah.
Nothing has been done, and guess who's going to end up paying for it to take it down?
I know.
You and I, Joe.
But my hope springs eternal, and hopefully Governor Murphy will listen to Steve Sweeney and they'll work everything out and be more of a common sense approach instead of taxing. To your point,
Doesn't sound like it.
Well,
doesn't sound. I'm just saying. Sweeney has said the millionaires tax a non-starter. They're not. It's just not going to happen, and yet he's still pushing it.
I'll tell you what. It is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Debbie's standing by. Alexandra Stanton. I love Alexandra, that name, because that's my daughter's name. Alexandra's a Democratic strategist, CEO of Empire Global Ventures, someone who's lived in France for 2 years. We're going to talk about the Macron dinner and U.S.-France relations, exactly what to expect from this state dinner down there with the Trumps and the Macrons. Arthur Aidala coming up as well, and David Burke, Commissioner Kelly. Look at this, Mike Gallagher, Assemblyman Roth. We got the show. Frankie Five Bros put a show together just for you. And if you want to call, by the way, it's 877-970-2999. But right now we'll clear the airwaves at 719. We're with Debbie Duhame. She's looking out for you traffic-wise. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. You're right in the middle of it, Deb, huh?
A never a dull moment out here, that's for sure. Good morning, Joe, Frank, Allen, everybody. Let's go to the Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit. 20-minute delays between Cranford and Newark Penn. It's all due to a disabled freight train. Watch for delays Newark Light Rail as well. That's a disabled train. And the F train delays with some ongoing signal problems. Problems on Route 1 northbound getting into Dean's Lane and South Brunswick, still closed with a collision. Garden State Parkway South past 135, an accident. 78 eastbound out by exit 15, a collision. Newark Bay Extension westbound by the Newark Bay Bridge, accident. Inbound Holland 25, Lincoln 40 over at the GWB. That's 40 minutes into town. Deegan north at the stadium, an accident there. And the eastbound belt at Cross Bay Boulevard, accident cleared. Brought to you by U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Your unused prescription drugs could end up misused or stolen. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. Saturday, April 28th. Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com. Partly cloudy today, high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Sponsored by Frontline Plus. Protect your pets from fleas and ticks with Frontline Plus for dogs and Frontline Plus for cats. It's been trusted by vets for nearly 20 years and is the #1 name in flea and tick protection. Why would you use anything else? Pick some up now.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me 2 black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at 1 on AM 970. The Answer.
From the Fox Business Network, Google parent company Alphabet reported a stronger than expected quarter, even though it continues to spend money. Google was helped by its part ownership of Uber Technologies, and it continues to make money from advertising. Google's worldwide sales increased. It also made money from its mobile app store and cloud computing. Trading company TD Ameritrade's quarter was disappointing, though. It made more money than a year ago, but Wall Street was expecting an even stronger quarter. Tabasco is releasing a limited edition small batch of its pepper sauce to mark its 150th anniversary. USA Today says Tabasco Diamond Reserve sauce will cost $35. It's made from select Tabasco peppers. The Dow was down 14 yesterday, NASDAQ down 17, S&P up a fraction. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-566-7906 now for your free reputation analysis. Our dedicated experts and patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-566-7906 to learn more or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Welcome to Geico's Motorcycle Meanderings.
Oh man, this is great. I sure saved a lot of money by switching to Geico. I scored some big savings and now I can use their mobile app 24/7 for all sorts of stuff. Life just makes sense now. What doesn't make sense is if a highway splits, it's a fork in the road. Then wouldn't a long straight stretch be a knife in the road? And then wouldn't a cul-de-sac be a spoon in the road? What would a spork be?
Geico Motorcycle. Savings that make sense.
Be sure to tune in every Sunday night as Labor Press, New York's leading source for daily labor news and industry information, brings you their Blue Collar Buzz radio show. The hosts, Neil Tappel and Bill Holfeld, will discuss issues in the workplace and talk with some of the most prominent and influential personalities in the labor community. It's Labor Press, Sunday nights at 9, right here on AM 970, The Answer.
Hey, it's Piscopo on the radio, 723 on AM 970, The Answer, around the country, around the world on AM970theanswer.com. Alexandra Stanton will join us momentarily. I did want to tell you about Michael's of Brooklyn and their amazing sauce. And you know you can find the sauce on the shelf, right? You could tomorrow we have the Michael's of Brooklyn Italian trivia question. We give away an entire case, right? And you could look on your supermarket. You could see Michael's of Brooklyn all over. We invite you, as we were talking about earlier, to go out to Avenue R in Nostrand, right there in the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, and you will see a restaurant that's been out there for 50 years. Started out as a pizza place, right? And Fred's there, Johnny's there, Marianne is there, Michael himself is here, there, the grandson. So now, after all these years, it becomes one of the 5 best Italian restaurants in America, according to the Food Network. And you can get right out there, Avenue R and Nostrand. You're going to love Michael's of Brooklyn. It's our hang. It's where we go. And we suggest you do the same. And at Michael's of Brooklyn, all of their sauces are certified gluten-free, certified non-GMO, giving you a product that is as healthy as it is flavorful. Michael's of Brooklyn, Avenue R and Nostrand. Check out michaelsofbrooklyn.com. They have some great things on the website, but you want to make the trip, and we invite you to do that. Avenue R and Nostrand in Brooklyn, New York. Michael's of Brooklyn, serving the most authentic taste of Italy for over 50 years.
Dennis Prager, coming up at 1 on AM 970. The Answer.
Portions of this show sponsored by Hudson Honda.
In the house, and Alexandra Stanton is here. She's a Democratic strategist, CEO of Empire Global Ventures, someone who lived in France for 2 years and apparently has some Greek blood. Alexandra, I understand you have some Greek blood in your veins.
I am. My mother, who's an immigrant, came here at the age of 8, speaking no English, and is now a distinguished professor at the CUNY Graduate Center.
Wow.
But she came here speaking no English and part of the American dream.
She came from Greece to America.
Yes, she did.
This is a spectacular story. And where's your dad from, if I may?
My dad was born here in the People's Republic of Brooklyn, went to Erasmus.
There you go, man.
Unfortunately, no longer with us, but came here, was a lieutenant commander, as was my uncle, of destroyers in World War II against Hitler.
Wow.
Proud to be a child of
Thanks for the
my
service.
father and uncle, of course.
Yeah, thinking about my pop, too. But yet, listen, this is great. Now, look at you. You're bringing jobs to New York. We'll get into all that. But you lived in France. I want to go to
I did.
And were you there, if I may ask?
So there's an organization called Doctors of the World. In French, it's called Médecins du Monde. And they are a medical humanitarian relief organization. They've been around for over 40 years. And whether it's political massacres or natural disasters, I mean, they help people all over the world. And I was lucky enough to get an internship with them, and then they offered me a full-time job.
Wow.
And I stayed.
Wow.
And it was an honor and pleasure. There's no more committed group of people than those who are doing medical humanitarian relief work. So it was an extraordinary experience.
We know that group. God bless you for doing that.
Thank you.
Where in France, if I may ask? In Paris?
I was based in Paris.
Oh,
at
look
their
at this. And you speak French, probably.
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
goodness gracious. And now, so it's Macron. Like
There you go.
I like this guy.
He's a terrific guy.
He is, right?
He's a terrific guy. He's great for France and great right now. You know, he's a globalist. He's open. What he knows is that the jobs, for example, that my children will have in the future haven't been invented yet. And so aside from supporting traditional industries, he knows about supporting innovation. So, for example, Station F, 1,000
Thanks
startup
for translating.
campus. My
In case
pleasure,
it went
Joe.
by me. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
saying. Largest startup campus in the world in the middle of Paris. Amazon, Google, and Facebook are there. Opened its doors less than a year ago, going strong, and that's what we need to be doing here.
Now, before we get to the state dinner and working with Donald Trump down there, why is he, I don't want to use the word pandering, why is he playing to, and he did a great interview on Fox, Macron did, and why is he playing to America? What is in it for him? To bring business, to bring French business here? Is that what that's about?
Well, let's start with the history of the French and American relationship. They are the oldest and most consistent American ally.
Yeah.
They have been with us
Day
in
one.
every military conflict except Iraq. That is why, not far from here, Joe, we have a street called Lafayette, and there's Lafayette Park in Washington. There's not Churchill Street.
Yeah, interesting.
American Revolution on.
Yeah.
They were at our side.
Yeah.
So there's a real important history there. And I think that Macron has developed, it seems like it started with that handshake between Trump and Macron, right? And Trump doesn't think he's a pushover. Well, Macron has things he thinks are important to achieve, and if he has a relationship, wouldn't you capitalize on those and try to make some hay?
Yeah, but by all means.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with the Iran deal? Is Macron going to tell? I can't get a handle on this because you know how Donald Trump feels about it. Walk away from it. And answer me this, if I may, Alexandra.
Please.
Why does Macron? He likes this deal with Iran, correct?
He likes the deal. I like the deal. We all should like the deal.
Iran deal?
The Iran deal. When the deal was struck, Iran was less than 6 months away from developing a nuclear weapon. Let me repeat. Less than 6 months away from having a nuclear weapon. So, it was really important to put a pause on that because I don't know about you, but as a child of someone who served, I don't think Americans want a third war in the Middle East. And it was really important to try diplomacy before we have to go to other measures. And guess what? The deal's holding. That's why he's trying to preserve it.
And what do you think the compromise will be between Donald J. Trump and Macron?
So I think this is really complicated, and I think that for Americans, what they should understand is Macron, I think, is here as a friend of the United States to tell Trump that if the only winners, frankly, of pulling out of the deal will be Russia and China, because then they assume a larger, position as global leaders. There are some attempts to try to create some side agreements to keep the states in the deal, but Russia and China aren't part of those attempted negotiations. And they're saying, as is the entire nuclear and security apparatus around the globe, leave the deal as it is. It's working.
Yeah, but Iran, what they did to our sailors, and now what they're doing with Hezbollah, their supporters, this is a terror nation. It's death to Israel and Iran. Don't you want to shut these people down? Don't you want to have nothing to do with them? And can you trust Iran? That's the problem. And I guess I'm speaking the way Donald Trump is going to speak to Macron.
Sure.
And he will tell the president what?
Well, over 90% of the plutonium and uranium has left Iran. There are international inspectors who go in, who make sure those dangerous products that can weaponize to a nuclear weapon have left the country. So it's not about trust. It's about trust but verify. And the IAEA is going in every few months and making sure they're holding to the deal.
All right. But you know what? And 877-970-2990. I know folks are going to have something to say about that. And then with Syria, how does Macron deal with Donald Trump on Syria? Do we join this coalition? I always said there should be this international rapid deployment, UN kind of NATO-based strike force. That's the global effort I want to see. You know, I believe in America first, but militarily, because it's always on our back. Now we're going to go to Syria. Frankie Five-Burrows talks about it all the time. So what do you think Macron and Donald Trump are going to talk about in regards to Syria?
I think Macron is actually going to probably lead with the Iran deal. I think that's probably going to be top of his mind.
Yeah.
And then I think he's going to talk about the recent efforts in Syria and what should happen in the wake of the joint efforts that we made there.
Hey, so living in France, I went there. look at me like I'm an expert. I didn't live there. The French were so nice. They were nice. Yeah. It was beautiful. Paris, forget about it. I mean, the City of Lights, it was gorgeous. We went to all the little places, walked around. They could not have been nicer. How did they get such a bad reputation? You know, you always hear about the French people being rude and everything. I saw none of that.
Joe, do you think that in the rest of the states that New York has a reputation for being nice? We're pussycats. We're delightful. I stop with anyone and say, can I help you know where you're going? I think New York has an unfair reputation, the way that Paris has an unfair reputation. People were delightful to me. They were charming. I was 23. I came there with no family. I came there because I believed in the work.
Yeah.
And I had this instant camaraderie with people who invited me to their homes, helped me if I needed something in my apartment. They were terrific, and I'm forever grateful. In fact, because it was such an extraordinary experience, 6 years ago, we brought Doctors of the World here, and now it exists not far from your studios, Doctors of the World USA.
Yeah, that is great like that. So you're a prominent Democratic strategist. So, and you...
Well, that's in a former life.
But, all right, but I want to ask about, and you're the CEO of Empire Global Ventures.
Yes.
You're bringing jobs to New York. And God bless you for that. We just talked about it, doing it in New Jersey, because all the politicians want to do now, and I like Andrew Cuomo, and I give Governor Murphy, it's too early to judge him, despite what our news guy Al says, bring jobs back. And you have a big initiative in this regard.
We do. And, to bring jobs here, you have to have the educational structure and the openness and the scientific community that encourages people who are looking at innovation to come here. Mm-hmm. So whether it was CNI Guard, which is a UK-based sensor technology company that we helped bring here 3 years ago, they're now an 8-figure company employing New Yorkers.
Wow.
Whether it's a Canadian company that we're bringing to Buffalo, New York, and doing graphite refining, we are bringing jobs here, but they're coming here because our scientific community is here and our business community works with innovation here. And that's what we need. And by the way, to give Macron some credit, we were talking about Station F in France, this 1,000 startup campus. If you look at it, Amazon, Google, and Facebook are already in there.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary, and kudos to him.
Yeah, we're trying to get Amazon to Newark. You know that? There's a big push like that.
They've got about 20 companies down to their list, right to their final.
Man, we're just hoping that would be great. The jobs, it would create 50,000 jobs.
Any state that could get Amazon would be lucky to have
them. And the president against Amazon, I think that's a personal thing between the president and Jeff Bezos.
Do you think that's wise on a business level, Joe?
Well, as a guy who uses Amazon all the time, and I understand, it's very, very difficult. I understand what he's doing and how he's doing and the tax ramifications of it all, but I don't know that I would go after Amazon at this point, really. Especially when you could bring them in, to an area like Newark, New Jersey, that's got all the internet, the highest speed internet is under the streets of Newark, New Jersey. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Could you tell your companies to bring? I'm a Jersey guy doing a little push for Jersey,
Okay.
So this is good. So you have high hopes before I let you go with Macron and Donald Trump. This is going to work out well. This is a good partnership.
It's really interesting. It looks like that partnership got cemented from this now historic handshake that they had. It looked like this bromance got started because Trump clearly thinks that Macron is not a pushover. So let's see how Macron, who's not a dummy, he's really smart. Let's see how he can leverage this.
Yeah. Alexandra Stanton, she is a Democratic strategist, CEO of Empire Global Ventures. And we appreciate you. You come back anytime. Your girl is great, who I ran into on the way out and on the way in, and we appreciate you. Come back anytime,
I'd
Alexandra.
be delighted. Thanks so much for having me.
And I guess John Katzimatidis sends his best. Anybody who's Greek, I have to give personal regards.
Kind.
There it goes. Thanks, Alexandra.
Thanks for having me.
God bless. Piscopo in the morning. Frankie Five Boroughs is here. Al Gattulo is standing by at 7:36. 7:36 on AM 970. The Answer.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970. The Answer.
46 degrees at 7:36. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is announcing it made 60 arrests in New Jersey last week. Federal agency known as ICE reports that during a 5-day statewide sweep ending last Friday, individuals previously convicted of serious crimes in 14 Garden State counties were arrested. And the operation focused on people convicted of sexual assaults, domestic violence, child abuse, and for driving under the influence. The agency says anyone they arrested not already being federally prosecuted will be processed for removal from the United States. A school board in Ocean County is voting on whether or not to arm its guards. Among the announced topics to be voted on today during the scheduled Jackson School District Board of Education meeting is the possible inclusion of trained security personnel who would be permitted to carry guns while on duty. If approved, the cost to residents would be over $411,000, already featuring 2 Jackson Police Department officers who serve the district as resource officers. If passed, the plan would add an additional 6 full-time armed security officers. In sports, Giancarlo Stanton went 4 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs. Yankees smoked the Twins 14-1. Didi Gregorius added a grand slam. Miguel Andujar and Tyler Austin also went deep for the Bombers. Masahiro Tanaka got his 3rd win. And sports is sponsored by Modell's Sporting Goods stores. You gotta go to Moe's. Stuck in traffic? Debbie Duhame's got the answer.
And good morning, Al. Thanks a lot. We're still seeing delays on the Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit between Cranford and Newark Penn with a disabled freight train by Union Station. Watch for delays. Newark Light Rail, 15-minute delays. 2 and 3 trains back on or close to schedule. Taking a ride to the Hudson River crossings, inbound GWB 40, Lincoln 40, Holland 25, New Jersey Turnpike, the car lanes north by exit 14 into Newark. Watch for a crash there. Route 1 closed northbound at Deans Lane into South Brunswick with an accident. 78 eastbound exit 15, a collision there. Southbound thruway picking up volume at the Tappan Zee Bridge. And over on the Sawmill southbound getting into Yonkers, an accident on the shoulder. Traffic is still moving slowly on the Deegan north at the stadium with a collision. And watch for delays westbound Bruckner getting down toward that merge at 149th Street with an accident there. Clouds today with a high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970. The Answer.
Hey, it's Piscopo on the radio. It's 7:38 right now. Arthur Aidala standing by. Can I tell you about Parry & Sons of Franklin Lakes? They've been selling fine jewelry, watches, diamond engagement rings for 96 years. Listen to Joey on the radio. 96 years. When I went over there, Glenn Parry, he'll meet you. He had a shirt and tie on. I love that. He walks in, shirt and tie, and then he takes, hey, Debbie, show Joe the diamonds. I bought all my watches. He made my watches all like new. You could bring in your old tired jewelry, pick it up looking like new at Parry & Sons. Lisa's there, Katie's there. But Glenn will walk you through everything. And then you got to see, if you want to get an engagement ring, for example, they have the diamond buyback guarantee, but they will walk you through the 4 C's like no other jeweler at Parry & Sons. And I saw some of the greatest diamonds I've seen, original diamonds, designer diamonds at Parry & Sons. They know what they're talking about. For almost 100 years, they've been there. They started in Clifton. I saw the pictures of the dad up there, and Glenn showed me the whole history of the Parry family. So you can go to Parry & Sons. They are in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, right there on Franklin Avenue. Parry & Sons for 96 years. You can check out diamond engagement rings, watches, and all sorts of jewelry. Ask for Glenn. You tell him Joey sent you. Parry & Sons, or you can go to ParryandDiamonds.com.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me 2 black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at 1 on AM 970. The Answer.
What's on your mind right now? Is it, do I really want this donut? Yes, you want that donut, and you want a muffin too. Now that I've mentioned donuts and muffins, I'm sure you're thinking about your body, specifically your stomach. Are there a few pounds that you wish you could lose? Maybe some inches? At Galatrin, we believe there is no right or wrong way to look. We desire to help everyone see the most beautiful version of themselves.
Hi, my name is Ann, and I've lost about 30 pounds, and it makes me sleep wonderful at night.
My name's Jason. I've lost over 40 pounds using Galatrin. It's helped me maintain my weight loss over a long period of time.
Not only is Galatrin proven to help people reach their weight loss and health goals, but with every purchase, you receive exclusive access to a team of healthcare professionals, coaches, and nutritionists to support you every step of the way. So stop letting your mind bully your body. Visit us on the web at toploss.com or call us at 1-833-TOP-LOSS. After all, your body loves you, so love it back.
This is Michael Riedel from the New York Post. Let me tell you about a revival of a masterpiece on Broadway now, Eugene O'Neill's The Iceman Cometh, one of the great American plays, starring the terrific Denzel Washington. The production is directed by George C. Wolfe. Now, the New York Times has called The Iceman Cometh one of the most absorbing plays of our century. It happens to be one of my favorite American plays. Eugene O'Neill's tragic vision of these alcoholics living in this down-and-out saloon is undiminished by time. It's a very painful, tragic play, but it has a lot of laughs, believe it or not, too, because, drunks are funny, and they are funny in The Iceman Cometh. And Denzel Washington has wanted to do this play a long time, so you don't want to miss his performance in The Iceman Cometh on Broadway. To get tickets, go to IcemanOnBroadway.com. That's IcemanOnBroadway.com. Get your tickets to see Denzel Washington in Eugene O'Neill's The Iceman Cometh on Broadway.
Hey, it's Piscopo in the morning, 7:42 right now. If you own or rent a home or apartment, you own a business, you have a huge opportunity to impact this generation and the next by choosing green renewable energy sources. And when you buy renewables from Blue Rock Energy, you're getting energy sourced and developed right here in New York State, keeping the dollars, creating the jobs for our communities. With Blue Rock, you could choose to purchase 30%. 50% or 100% of your annual electricity usage in clean, renewable energy sourced directly from New York State. You believe this? The company's in Syracuse, New York. Phil Van Horn keeps the company in Syracuse, New York. Now you got green energy from Syracuse, New York. How do you not call Blue Rock Energy? Here's the number. You got to call. We all did. The station, the Buffalo Bills, the Brooklyn Nets, my house, we did it. 877-280-4909. 877-280-4909. 4909, or very simply, just go to BlueRockEnergy.com.
Michael Medved, coming up at 3 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the SmartWayToBuy.com studios.
With Jersey Joe, Arthur Aidala here. Arthur was great. He was such a Arthur could be so, I mean this in the most complimentary of ways, so Brooklyn. Sometimes that Brooklyn comes out. You were so respectful last night. Thank you for that. You saw it. You read the situation.
First of all, Joe, everybody was so happy to see you there, number one. And all the law enforcement people. And I walked in, I heard this morning, as I listen every morning, I heard Frank talking about Commissioner Kelly, and I got right off the elevator and saw Commissioner Kelly. This is 5 minutes after Frank Morano bumped me from my spot at 8:30 this morning to be on now, which I'm very happy to be on at any time. So I come out and I start giving him a hard time. I was like, Commish, I got to get bumped on the radio because of you. And he just laughs, and he knows my grandfather was the boxing judge, so he always fakes that he's going to throw me a punch. But I have to echo what Frank said about Ray Kelly. I mean, he's got to be in the top 10 most incredible human beings because he went two different routes, like the whole, Marines and law enforcement. And then, Joe, to have an LLM is like, that's one crazy level of education. It's basically a master's of laws. So after you do high school, after you do college, after you do law school, no, that's not enough. Let me get some more education. Make me even smarter. And then you go to an LLM program, and depending on how intense you do it, it can be 1 to 2 years. And then he goes to Boston or Cambridge, to Harvard, to the Kennedy Business School. As public administration. The guy is, and he's. And when you meet him, he is so down to earth. Look, the viewers are going to hear him, or the listeners are going to hear
Commissioner Ray Kelly, we're talking about. Good thing he's not
in Author Aidala's time spot. That's quite right.
Good thing he's not in shape. Oh my gosh, he owns it. He owns it.
I will tell you this, and I don't know if I'm speaking out of school, but on New Year's Eve, I don't remember what it was. It was maybe Bloomberg. 2 years before Bloomberg was about to leave, I made a comment. I spent New Year's Eve with Commissioner Kelly in Times Square, like as they're doing the countdown. I look at him, I go, unless we go to our respective significant others, we're going to wind up kissing in about 5 minutes when the ball drops. But I asked him and his wife about him running for mayor at the time.
Yeah.
And he was just about to turn 70. And what his wife said to me is, I've been waiting for this guy my whole life. And he basically said, well, we're going to enjoy our golden years together. She goes, he's turning 70. In my book, that's the beginning of the golden years. Nobody's running for mayor. Everyone's going to start enjoying life. And I think that's kind of the deal that they have. They've been married for a very long time. They have very successful children.
Greg's a great guy.
So that's why I don't think he's going for the FBI. He's going anywhere. I think
we were hoping.
I think he's just going to be Ray Kelly, which is a great thing to be.
But wouldn't it be great? And I want to get on to some legal questions, Arthur.
Do we have to?
Yeah,
come on. Good stuff
and we'll talk to the commissioner. But maybe Donald Trump goes, let me just bring, Commissioner Kelly in for a year. For a year.
Donald Trump issue. I think at this point the commission is saying, hey, I've done more public service
and
than
as he has
40 people combined. So, and Joe, I was proud of you last night. You even though your enthusiasm for the way your partner walking around the room was evident, it was also very appropriate. The two of you could have been the royal couple that just had the baby yesterday. Cool. Congratulations to them. I hope they named their child Arthur, because apparently that's one of the top 5 names that's in the running.
Really?
But you looked very good. It was nice to see someone born within the same couple of decades as you were on your arm, as opposed to someone who was born like
you of all people, and I was lost, just going around shaking hands and very, very happy.
All those military guys were so happy to meet you.
Gosh.
All the police.
A lot of those guys, by the way, it was the Federal Enforcement Homeland Security.
Yeah, Richard Kendall. He started that whole thing.
Right.
He's been friends with Governor Tom Ridge for a very long time.
Who looks great.
Yeah,
came back. We took pictures.
He got hit with a pretty bad heart attack.
But he's doing great. God bless him.
He looked like he fit as a fiddle.
But a lot of the guys say, "Can we take pictures?" Joe, we take some pictures. So I said, "Absolutely." They were just in a firefight like last week. These guys, you forget what they go through.
Oh, absolutely.
Shot at. I mean, it's their lives on the line. So proud to be there.
And I'm not making light of this, but one of the biggest stories that popped up on my phone yesterday was a guy who was injured in battle. One of these bombs that went off that, it's like a fake bomb, not like an American bomb, one of these homemade bombs, and he lost his private parts. Wow. And yesterday was the first time I think they did a 14 or a 16-hour operation from a deceased man, and they put on his stuff to this individual. So God bless, the doctors. There were a lot of doctors there last night, by the way.
Is that right?
Well, look, it's about a community supporting law enforcement. I mean, that's what that whole concept was last night. And again, Joe, you handled yourself very well.
Well,
I do owe you an apology because there was a young woman there who wasn't sure who you were. Obviously, when you're walking around Carol Alt, you're somebody, right? I mean, the very least you are is your Carol Alt's significant other. So the young woman goes, "Who's that?" I go, "That's Joe Piscopo." I go, "He used to be somebody." She was really, yeah. I go, "You ever hear of President Ronald Reagan?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "When Ronald Reagan was president, Joe Piscopo was it's a household
name." And then she looked at her and said, "And who are you?"
I just said,
"Why aren't you on Fox anymore?"
That's what
they said.
I said, I just keep my shoes clean. Speaking of Fox, though,
Roger Ailes went, you went. What happened? Give us the inside line. What happened?
Speaking of that, about 100 people. You can say the same thing with Carol Alt.
Yeah.
Because Carol had her own show on Fox. And I will tell you, she was very well received there by those off camera. She was known as being a very nice woman.
But for you to walk in, right, and we just kind of bumped into each other, Carol Alt and I, and it was just like, I got to leave early, and I'm not good at leaving early. I would stay there. I'd still be there, as a matter of fact, because I don't want to not shake hands. I don't want to not take a picture.
You're a mensch.
Come on, come sit with us, Joe. And they don't realize we got to get up 3, 4 in the morning. Carol goes, "Joe, I got to leave early." Boom, we're together. As soon as we hook up,
there were rumors. I mean, about you and her leaving together at the same time.
Oh my gosh! Turn around. Look at this. I can't believe.
Not Crowley, is it? Carol Alt is here. Wow! This was not planned. This was definitely not planned. You did threaten us last night, saying I might show up. And here she is. This is amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Author Aidala taking over the Joe Piscopo Show because he's now risen to his feet. He shed his earphones to give Carol an appropriate kiss on the cheek.
I cannot believe you came in.
Well, I guess that's the end of my segment, folks.
I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because I have 2 little rescue kitties and they wake me up.
You are so good, girl. It was last night. It was late last night we got out.
It wasn't that late. Come on,
all right,
Joe.
All right. I know.
Home by 8.
But what did you tell me though?
It was like an old fogey day.
Back in
home at 8.
Back in the day, you never hung out late. You said it.
No, I never did. I always had to be up early.
Yeah.
Movies they start you at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's true, Arthur. That's
I would
true.
look better if I didn't have to get up at 4 a.m. Believe me. Work till 11 at night. Hey, but the girls got to make a living.
Would you like your seat back or okay?
And Al Gattulo, Frankie Morano, our guys. Carol, I have to thank you. We've been joking about it all morning.
I know. I heard. You know what happened? I was. You know, we talked last night about subways and taxis and Junos and whatnot. Do you remember?
I kept staring at you, and the light would turn green. She'd go like this.
I'm like, oh, you have to
Gaga. Look at it, Carol. She goes, "Did light screen show?"
Well, we did. We talked about it, and you said, "Oh, you have to teach me the subway." And I said, "I love the subway because it gets you where you have to go really fast." I'm a New Yorker.
The problem is he'll never go on the subway.
Well,
listen.
I don't care. I throw a hat and glasses, and they still say, "We know who you are under there." I'm like, "Oh my god." Anyway, but people are always really, really nice. Anyway. This morning I got this Juno, and I thought, I'm driving in this car, and he's going like putt, 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 putt. I go, oh my God, I should have just gotten on the subway. It would have been just so much faster. So I jumped out 2 blocks over, and I walked the rest of the way because there's so much traffic down here. And I was walking by outside, and a blonde woman said, Carol Auth. And I looked up at her, and she said, are you doing the Joe Piscopo show? And I said,
it's the one who just left.
I said,
the French people who were just here. Yeah, it's the French people who just left.
I said, yes. She goes, no, you don't know me, because I said hello. She goes, no, you don't know me. She goes, but she looked familiar. She goes, are you doing the Joe Piscopo show? I said, yeah. She said, it's in here. And because I was looking for the address of 111, and it's kind of off to the side. And I thought, oh my gosh. She goes, they've been talking about you.
I opened the show. I didn't want to do that, but you saved me, and Arthur knows. We're like life and out. These guys are family. So when I'm at those events, I'm the worst. I am just. I can't. I stay. Like I said to Arthur just now, I'd still be there. You and we just bumped into each other, and you said to me, I got 2 flat, not 1 flat tire. Listen, Arthur, listen, 2 flat tires. Yet you still came to show support for the federal law enforcement.
I did. My father was a civil servant, and I grew up. He was a policeman. He was a military policeman as well, and then he became a fireman. So he was a career fireman.
Yeah, you know what? He was in the Bronx.
In the South Bronx.
And you were brought up in New York, New York?
Yes, I was born in College Point, Flushing, Queens.
That's why she's so cool.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And when I hang out with people like him, I start talking in a New York accent.
Because we're
Arthur,
real, Carol.
Arthur,
we're real.
Are you defending somebody who whacked somebody? Can you stay for a little bit?
Yeah, I can stay. I can say whatever you want. Are you kidding me? I can stay the whole day. Let's bring Commissioner Kelly in at 8:30, and I'll order up some Sambuca.
Well, you also have a chef coming on, she told me
downstairs.
Oh,
David Burke. You're gonna love David Burke.
I eat raw food, so it's kind of like I know.
You're like Miss Helt. You're going to love this. Carol Auth, the legend, with us, and Arthur Aidala, the legend, with us as well. Piscopo in the morning at 7:54. We're going to take a break. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead, Big Al. We're coming right back at you.
Don't miss Herb Alpert and Lonnie Hall live at the Bergen Performing Arts Center on April 25th. Experience the classic Tijuana brass sound you know and love. Herb Alpert and Lonnie Hall live at Bergen Performing Arts Center. Call 201-227-1030 or visit bergenpac.org for tickets. Portions of this show sponsored by Route 22 Honda.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
What's going on, everyone? A happy Tuesday to you, and I'm back to talk to you about Calitrin. If you're ready to make a long-term change to help you lose weight, have more energy, and feel fantastic, start a 90-day supply of Calitrin right now by going to toploss.com. The website will answer all your questions to help you lose weight, have more energy, and feel great. No drugs, no stimulants, all natural. It's a piece of cake to use. You just take it before bedtime, and it works on you while you're sleeping to help give you back what you need. But don't just take it from me. Our friend Elizabeth is on the line. She's got some more info for you. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning. Yes, sir. I think everybody hears about Calitrin and they're surprised. It's actually good for you. It's not one of those quick fix fad products. It is going to take time for you to see these results, but you're going to keep these results off for good because you're doing it the right way, the way that your body wants to, by revving up your metabolism naturally. So like Al said, if you have any weight to lose, check it out for yourself. Go to toploss.com. That's LOSS.com and use promo code AL. That's going to save you 10% on your order today. And I should also mention that today we have free shipping on every single order of Calitrin. That's toploss.com. Use promo code AL, and there's free shipping.
That is awesome. Give Calitrin a call right now at 1-833-TOP-LOSS or toploss.com. Use the promo code AL for 10% off and get free shipping as well. That's 1-833-TOPLOSS or toploss.com. Use the promo code AL for 10% off.
Okay, we're trying to gain some kind of a semblance of order here. 7:57. Carol Auth is in the studio. Arthur Aidala is in the studio. Arthur is here, but I know you're a great attorney, John Bramnick. I want to take a moment to. Yeah, he's
a lot of great attorneys.
And John's a friend, but he is a great guy. So if you or family members in an accident, the name that comes to mind is Bramnick Lawyers. John and Brent Bramnick at the Bramnick Law Firm can be reached 7 days a week. Phone consultations are free. Accident cases are handled on a contingency fee, no recovery, no fee. John Bramnick began his law practice in 1984. He has 17 lawyers now and a staff of 30 ready to assist you. And not every accident results in a lawsuit, but if a lawsuit is necessary, the Bramnicks have the resources to pursue the case and to take it to trial. Not all cases, as Arthur knows, require a trial, but Bramnick lawyers have the trial experience necessary to fight for your fair compensation. If you're wondering how you're going to pay your medical bills, how you're going to be compensated for lost earnings, Bramnick has all the answers. The Bramnick lawyers handle on-the-job accidents as well as a wide variety of cases involving negligence. Here's the number for Bramnick, 877-423-4878, 877-423-4878, or you can reach them at johnbramnick.com, JONBRAMNICK.com. We're going to take a break, and then the madness will ensue. You don't want to go away, okay? Carol, you can stay a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm not leaving, Joe. I mean, you guys are going to have to pull me out of here.
You're the chaperone. You understand that? You're the chaperone now.
First of all, Carol, I'm the lawyer, and we haven't discussed one legal topic whatsoever.
Frankie, why bother? Frankie Five Boroughs is here. Albert is here. David Burke coming up live, and Commissioner Ray Kelly as well. It's Piscopo in the morning, live from New York, New York.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970. The Answer.
48 degrees at 7:59. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. Westchester County lawmakers have passed legislation to help support businesses owned by service-disabled veterans. The bill would require the county to look at veteran-run companies when putting together contracts. The legislation passed unanimously in a 15-0 vote last night. County Executive George Latimer expected to sign it. He released a statement calling the bill a common-sense way to do what we can here in Westchester to help those who gave so much to help us. Support Authority of New York and New Jersey Commissioner quitting following an examination into her conduct. NJ.com reports that Karen Turner of Tenafly, the subject of an internal investigation by the Port Authority for allegedly using her powers as a commissioner to interfere with a traffic stop involving her daughter. Turner is said to have resigned as soon as she was aware of the investigation. In sports, Yankees crushed the Twins 14-1. You now know what's going on. I'm Al Gattulo, AM 970, The Answer.
From the studios of AM 970, The Answer, on Broadway and Wall Street in Manhattan, this is WNYM, Hackensack, New Jersey, New York City.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Alec Minassian due in court in Toronto today. He's the 25-year-old accused of driving the rented van and mowed down pedestrians on a busy sidewalk in downtown Toronto. 10 people killed, 15 injured in what police say definitely looked deliberate. The suspect in Sunday's deadly shooting at a Tennessee Waffle House, now behind bars.
Police got a tip from construction workers, and Travis Reinking was found not far from his apartment. He was apprehended in a wooded area.
The suspect proned out. He told him to get on the ground. He got on the ground immediately, proned himself out. Other detectives came and assisted, put him into custody, and put him in cuffs.
Police Lieutenant Carlos Lara says officers went through Reinking's backpack.
They saw a silver Kimber semi-automatic weapon with .45 caliber ammunition, a flashlight, and a holster on his person.
A federal official says Reinking's father could face charges for returning guns to his son that were taken from him after an incident last year at the White House. I'm Ed Donahue.
Former President George H.W. Bush is hospitalized following the weekend funeral of his wife, Barbara.
A Bush family spokesman says the 93-year-old former president was admitted to Houston Methodist Hospital on Sunday morning after an infection spread to his blood. On Monday evening, Jim McGrath said Bush is responding to treatments and appears to be recovering. The former president has a form of Parkinson's disease and has needed hospital treatment several times in recent years for respiratory problems. Greg Clugston, the White House.
The Senate Foreign Relations Committee has given a green light to the nomination of Mike Pompeo for Secretary of State. The nomination now heads to the full Senate for the confirmation vote. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures in positive territory. Dow futures up 155 points. S&P futures 16 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
If you're feeling run down and you don't have the energy that you used to, it's probably because you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. It's time to try Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in capsule form. Balance of Nature is not like ordinary vitamins that are made with synthetics. It's just natural food in a vegetarian capsule with tens of thousands of vital nutrients from 100% whole food plants, fruits, and vegetables. Each capsule has 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and once you start taking Balance of Nature, you'll feel great. People report that their skin looks better, they have less aches and pains, and they have a lot more energy. It's time to improve the quality of your life. Call Balance of Nature, 1-800-2468-751, and use the promo code The Answer for 35% off your first month's supply, or go to balanceofnature.com. But make sure you use the promo code The Answer. Good health is only a phone call away. Call Balance of Nature, 800-2468-751. Use the promo code The Answer.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer.
Alternate side parking rules are in effect. Stop-and-go traffic this morning as you head over to the westbound Bruckner at 149th Street with a collision. Deegan north at the stadium, an accident there. Traffic is very busy this morning on the LIE westbound out toward Nichols Road. Some earlier problems cleared. B train back on or close to schedule. Newark Light Rail, a 15-minute delay. Raritan Valley line of New Jersey Transit delays between Cranford and Newark Penn. Watch for delays as you head over to the inbound GWB 40, Lincoln 40, Holland about 25. Stop-and-go traffic on 15 southbound getting down toward Route 80. Accident cleared. And over on the northbound side of 1, still closed in South Brunswick with an accident investigation. Southbound thruway slowing down at the Tappan Zee Bridge. Clouds today with a high going up to 62 degrees. Rain likely for tomorrow, high of 59. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Live from the Smart Way to Buy.com studios. The Real Deal with celebrity chef David Burke is sponsored by Tavern 62 by David Burke, located at 135 East 62nd Street on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, where restaurant magic happens.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day with your host, former Saturday Night Live superstar Joe Piscopo. Produced by Frank Morano with news guy Al Gottulo and traffic with Debbie Duhame. This is Piscopo in the morning on AM 970. The Answer.
Carol Auth graces us with her magnificent presence.
Right.
She is some kind of wonderful. Joe Piscopo on the radio. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube and AM970theanswer.com. It's 8:06. It's great to have you here. We didn't know what was going to happen, so it's a long story. So stay with me just for a second, and then we're going to open it up to the craziness. Then David Burke's going to come in. We have Commissioner Ray Kelly with us. We have a great show that Frankie Fibro's put together for you. Very proud to have on the radio. So last night we went to this great, spectacular event celebrating federal law enforcement officers, Federal Enforcement Homeland Security Foundation. And it was just with former Governor Tom Ridge, and he was the first Homeland Security Secretary. Just a great event. I was a bit lost. I talked about this earlier, so forgive me. And people have pictures, and I'm by myself as always. And then I saw Carol Auth there, the legendary actress, model, Carol. I said, Carol, hi. She goes, Joe. She goes, oh, I got 2 flat tires. She told me the whole story. And we went, I said, Carol, please stay close. She goes, Joe, I have to get out of here early. I said, oh my gosh, you're a blessing. You're an angel. We ended up working. And Arthur Aidala is here as well. Arthur walks in and he sees us together, of course, and he's like
I made
a school.
the sign of the cross.
I
made the sign of the cross. I was like, thank you, God. Finally, Joe is with someone with quality, class, dignity, intelligence. Finally, man.
This is what was going through his mind. He's kidding.
What does that say about your ex-wives, Joe?
No, please,
Come on,
please,
be
please.
nice.
I know.
Be
Oh,
nice.
exactly.
I've never
Thank
met
you.
any of them, by the way. I've only
Thank
heard
you.
stories.
All right.
First of all, Carol Auth, thank you for walking me through that. I had the best time with you. We were on the same wavelength. We support law enforcement. Then Ray Kelly was there, who's coming on the show in a little bit.
Yeah, but I can't believe I beat him here.
Yeah.
He was saying, oh, I have to get up so early to do Joe's show, and I'm here before he is. I'm like, seriously? And I wasn't even slated to be here. I just came because we joked about it last night.
And I say to my guys, to Frankie and Al, to Arthur, the boys, the knuckleheads, I go, Carol was leaving, and I go, I have my car out front. How about that? I had the Guido Mobile out front.
Would you have the caddy?
Of course, what did I tell you?
Beautiful.
Guess what color it is, Arthur?
Black.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, my man.
I fretted a little bit about getting into a car from New Jersey, though. Jersey drivers.
It was like you were crazy.
I'm like, it's a green light. You can go.
Well, he was a little distracted. I am his attorney, so I'm representing him. Me and Anthony Pope
Well,
were
but he
sharing the
said
duty.
he has his car. I thought he meant with a driver. I didn't realize he was driving.
He's a man of the people, Kyle. He's a man
We
of
were
the people.
chatting, and we were chatting about a variety of things.
My flat tires.
And I just happened to have the foot on the brake at a red light, and I just happened to be chatting, and Carl's going, Joe, the light's green. What? What?
Your response was, I know.
I know. Yes. No, it wasn't.
Not that I minded sitting there chatting. It's just that everybody else was beeping at us.
It was great. Hey, Carol, thanks for being there. How did you end up there last night? I know you do a lot of charity work.
I do. Thank you. Yes, I work with shelterchic.org, and it's an animal charity that saves older animals.
Yes.
Animals that give 13 years of service to a family, and then they're dumped out because they're older, they're moving, they don't want an animal anymore, whatever it is.
Yeah, wow.
And we go into basically death row, and we save these scared little creatures who were with a family and who are now in a cage. And the girl I work with she just ripped my heart out one day, and I said, I'm going to help raise money for you. So last year on May 10th at Tao Downtown, we had an event, which we're going to have again this year, May 10th at Tao Downtown. And Bill McCuddy offered, the sweetness that he is, offered to be a live auctioneer for us.
Yeah, he's good at that. Yeah,
we raised the most money. I mean,
Really?
we raised $46,000. We're really, really a small
you
charity.
can save a lot of dogs and cats.
Dogs
with
and cats,
$46,000.
because everybody else, all the other charities, they fight over the puppies and the kittens. It's the older animals,
Yeah, good for you.
And the great thing about older animals, you don't have to train
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're socialized. They already know. And if you're somebody who's not sure you want an animal, they're already older. It's not like they're going to last 20 years. They may last 5 or 7.
yeah.
I've placed one with my mother, my neighbors, everybody. I've got two that just every time I look at them, they just cheer my day up. Who
What
were
type
very
of animals?
upset I left this morning.
What type of animals do you have?
I have 2 black cats. And yeah, I love black cats, and they're the hardest to place. But at Shelter Chic, we don't discriminate, and I place them everywhere. Anyway, so Bill McCuddy did my live auction last night.
He ran that pretty good. You know Bill from Fox. So
Yeah, of course. I chatted with him last night.
Yeah, he looks great. He did a great job last night. He dragged us over. Frankie drags Carol and I over and did the interview real quick.
Right.
Put us in front of the step and repeat.
But he told me he was going to do that. He said, please, can you make it by 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:30? And I'm on Long Island with 2 flats.
Yeah. So what happened? I mean, you're Carol Auth, but you were so grounded. You got a car by yourself. You didn't get asked for a car, so you were driving an upscale car.
Right, I was driving a Mercedes. Hello. With those stupid low-profile tires.
Yes. That's
I don't know.
That's it.
That was it. And what happened was I ended up with a flat, but it didn't tell me because my friend who owned the car had rotated the tires. And you're not supposed to rotate the tires on a Mercedes. If they get bald anywhere, you're supposed to replace them. But he rotated them, so it wasn't telling me what was happening. All of a sudden, I have this flat. So this really, really nice guy stops and, he changes.
What a surprise.
Really nice guy.
Can I
missing a leg and an arm, but he helped me change the tire.
Well, I tipped him nice. He was a very nice guy. And
The stranger came up to you like that?
Yeah,
what a surprise.
I see
Some
you
strangers
have a
lined
flat.
up.
Listen, New Yorkers are the best,
Yeah,
okay? So I then called Raleigh Mercedes, and I said, help. They said, come over right away. And I had to cancel my whole day, which was why I borrowed the car in the first place. I had to cancel everything except my lunch with my mom and my sister, which I got to do. And then I went to Mercedes, and they're like, well, you've got 2 flats. The other one just hadn't really started flattening out yet, but it had bubbles and holes. And then I'm like, what the heck? And then he says to me, you've got 4 bald tires. And I called my friend who was in Italy. I'm like, what the heck? You got 4 bald tires on a gorgeous Mercedes. That's like sacrilege.
And you were on your way to the event?
I had to run to Long Island during the day, which I had told Bill.
Look at you.
I said I have an appointment on Long Island, and I was having lunch with my mom and my sister. My mom is 85, still works at the library in East Williston. She's just an amazing. I aspire to be like my mother.
Yeah.
Too bad she's not listening to this. She always hears me talk about my father, but she's really an amazing woman. And I had lunch with her and my sister, and then, I came back in. But this thing threw my whole day off because it was 3 hours to change all these tires.
She was so cute because I go. I don't know. You know me. I'm a lost soul. And Joe, come here. I'm doing whatever they want. And she goes, I got 2 flat tires. I said, wait a minute. You said, will you come on the radio and please tell us about
He's
this?
He's like, you had 2 flat tires and you made it. I was like, but I was with, I was calling Bill all day long. Like, okay, this is my progress. This is where I am. Because I had promised to be there. And, when I make a promise, it's a promise.
Yeah, but you were great. Because a lot of the guys and gals wanted to take pictures. And then they would say, Joe, Carol Auth, and vice versa. And say, Carol, is that Piscopo? And we took pictures. Thank you for that. And then,
well, it's so much nicer to work the room with somebody like Joe.
But Arthur,
because
I was the photographer, by the way, Frank. There's this one guy. He's like, "Can I take a picture of you guys?" And he's gonna just take a picture of Joe and Carol, but he's dying to be in the picture.
I'm like, "Why aren't you in the picture?"
Carol was nice. She goes, "Why did you come in the?" I was like, "Give me the camera."
What did you see?
And I'm turning on the flash. I'm like doing all kinds of things.
Sometimes people don't want to be in the picture, so you never really know.
Carol,
what did you say? What did you say about me when you walked in here this morning before Carol came in here about how I was navigating?
I said, well, first of all, I said, when you're with a woman like Carol who's so poised and knows, I said, she'll make you president of the United States.
You don't know what I'm like at home.
Well, listen,
I
can't
say
that about a lot of individuals.
I just can't believe I walked in here and all you guys are in suits. I was like, it's
Look,
radio.
we're on Facebook Live.
I didn't know this. I thought I can get away with my little, workout outfit.
That's why Al dressed down today. So you feel more comfortable.
Al didn't put on his tie.
I didn't even put makeup on. I was it's radio.
Doesn't seem to be a problem.
Carol
Auth. A cat question before we go. I now live with 3 cats.
Go ahead. Yes.
So my girlfriend's cat is over grooming. And so
I mean, really?
Well, she
At
is.
8:15, this is the question that you
because
asked
no one
Carol.
else has given me a satisfactory answer.
Okay.
So she takes her to the vet.
Sure.
So now her whole the black cat. So
change her diet.
Her belly is bald now.
Well, change her diet because whatever she's eating is coming out her skin and annoying her skin.
Well, so the vet said she's nervous, prescribes her Xanax. So my girlfriend gives the cat Xanax, and she starts walking around like she's drunk. And so she says, "I'm not giving this cat Xanax anymore."
There's this stuff
but the problem is she lives with 2 other cats. Yeah. So she got a special food for her, but the other cats, including one who's diabetic, are eating the special food.
You're listening to a special edition of Morano in the morning.
The advice is this: move out. Just move out. I think the advice is
I'd like to move the cats out.
Just so you know, Udo from Udo's Choice makes a cat supplement. It's greens that you can mix into the cat food, and it'll help her because she's like obviously reacting to something in her food because it's always food. Everything, even cancer, everything comes back down to your food.
Wow.
You got to eat raw.
Udo's.
Have the cat eat raw.
My cats eat raw.
Do they?
So,
I've got like these, 2 little stupid rescues that, like, they are so pampered. They are so pampered. They have their little pizzas. They sleep in little fur pizzas. I mean,
but what is raw food? And this is why you keep yourself so young. From eating all this food, we talked about this.
Well, I gave you guys all a taste of my raw Rev Glow
Actually,
bar.
That was phenomenal.
Wasn't it good? You didn't get a taste. I'm
that's
sorry,
okay.
Joe. I'll send you one
But raw,
over.
I always think raw. I think of carrots. That's
that's the first thing everybody always asks me. Like, do you eat carrots? I'm like, I eat ice cream. I eat cake.
You do?
I eat it for dinner. There's a company called Rawsome Treats here in the city, and they just opened up a store.
Yeah.
They make a raw tiramisu. They make a raw French torte with fruit on it. This girl is so awesome. I eat the tiramisu for lunch.
Wow.
Because it's as nutritious. All the stuff that's in it is more nutritious than, sorry, no offense to David coming in, but
David, we got pretzels
can you
of it.
hold
Is
up
it
that
pretzels?
dang pretzel? It's like the biggest pretzel I've ever seen.
Carol,
and it's got
the Parmesan cheese on it. You see it. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. You can check us out. Go to am970theanswer.com. 5 Boroughs is here. Albert is here. The great Arthur Aidala is here. We're going to clear. If you guys can hang, we'd love for you to hang. You're always so welcome here. Arthur, you as well. I know you're on your way to federal court every day. You and Anthony, you're in a federal court. Hang out. And David Burke is coming in. But we want to leave way for Commissioner Ray Kelly, the legend Ray Kelly, who Carol and I and Arthur were with last night. So we're going to take a little break with Debbie Duhaime. Good morning, Debbie. What a morning. We wish you were here. We wish you were here with us, girl.
What a morning.
I know,
Yeah, so lovely.
It's so wild. Traffic-wise, Deb, how we doing? 8:18 on AM 970, The Answer.
Good morning to you, Joe, and it's nice to have Carol and Arthur with us this morning. Let's see what's happening right now as we take a ride over to Knoxon Road, getting up through Vincent Road in Poughkeepsie. All lanes closed. That's a pretty serious accident reported. Southbound thruway picking up volume at the Tappan Zee Bridge. Inbound GWB 35, Lincoln 45, Holland still about 25, 21 northbound bumper to bumper up through Clay Street in Newark, 80 eastbound exit 52, heading out toward Fairfield. A collision. Route 1 northbound still closed, getting up through South Brunswick with an accident investigation. 22 west at the Garden State Parkway construction. Deegan north at the stadium. That's an accident. Westbound Bruckner at 149th, an accident there. And a tough ride on the westbound belt at Cross Bay Boulevard. That accident off on the shoulder. Sunrise Highway westbound at 5th Ave, getting out toward Bayshore. A collision brought to you by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Your unused prescription drugs could end up misused or stolen. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, Saturday, April 28th. Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com. Clouds today, high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhaime, AM 970, The Answer.
Hi, Phil Van Horn here from Blue Rock Energy. Higher summer temperatures will bring big increases to your energy bill. And it's not just because you're using more, rates actually spike during the warmer months. During this year's harsh winter, our customers avoided massive rate spikes by locking in lower natural gas and electricity rates early, and you can do the same this summer. After all, seasons change, but your energy rates don't have to. Visit BlueRockEnergy.com today to learn more and make the free switch to a fixed-rate energy plan.
Hi, this is Dino Costa. In New York, the sports world never sleeps, so make sure you join me tonight for another edition of Sports Overnight. It's the quintessential New York sports talk radio show. It's from midnight to 3 a.m., and it's only here on AM 970, The Answer.
Joe Piscopo here, coming to you from the smartwaytobuy.com studios. You know, buying a pre-owned car can be scary. How do you know it's safe? Was it in a flood or accident? Can you believe the mileage on the odometer? Well, on the smartwaytobuy.com, you'll find the finest collection of pre-owned vehicles in the area. And you'll find peace of mind because every car you see on the site comes with a vehicle history and has gone through a 150-point inspection. Plus, each one comes with a 5-day, 500-mile exchange policy, so you can be confident it's the right vehicle for you and at the right price, because the smartwaytobuy.com backs up every one of their already low prices with a 110% low price guarantee. The details are all there on the site. Discover the benefits of buying your next pre-owned vehicle the smartwaytobuy.com.
Join the family at Modell Sporting Goods. Visit your nearest Modell's and sign up for our MVP Rewards program to receive insider deals all year round. Earn points on every purchase when you use your MVP card to earn Modell's cash back. It's our way of thanking you for being a loyal customer. Upon signing up, receive 10% off your purchase and 15% off your next purchase. It's that simple. Plus, new MVPs this month are eligible to win a $500 Modell's gift card. When you gotta play more and pay less, you gotta go to Moe's.
Joe Piscopo on the radio, 822 on AM 970. The Answer. It's a wow morning on the Piscopo Show, and we're loving every single second of it. Commissioner Ray Kelly is going to join us momentarily. And Arthur is here, Carol is here, Frankie and Al are here. Can I tell you about Parry & Sons? I love Parry & Sons. The fact that I had all these watches, I had these very fancy watches that weren't working. I told you this. I said, where am I going to take them? Parry & Sons. I went up to Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, right there on Franklin Avenue. Glenn Parrion meets me, shirt and tie, by the way. Remember when jewelers wore shirt and tie? And I walked in, I said, Glenn, he goes, Joe, how are you? I said, here, I got these watches. He goes, Debbie, show Joe some of the diamonds. Beautiful diamonds, designer diamonds. They have that famous diamond buyback guarantee in case I meet somebody, again. Arthur's right next to me, busted jobs. Well, they did that for me, I think, just in case. But and now, and by the way, they will walk you through the 4 C's when you buy a diamond at Parrion Jewelers like nobody else. Lisa's there, Katie's there as well. Go say hi to Glenn Parrion at Parrion & Sons. They're right there on Franklin Avenue, Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. You know what? They've been there for 96 years. It's a great family history. When you want to get an engagement ring, you want to get watches, jewelry, you want to go to Parrion & Sons. Or very simply, go to ParrionDiamonds.com.
If it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Portions of this show sponsored by Route 22 Nissan.
Auth in the studio. Arthur Aidala is here. It is a superstar morning here on the Joe Show, and we're loving every minute of it. Speaking of superstars, there's a man I have immense respect for. He's just a great, grounded New Yorker, and we've been talking about him all morning, how accomplished this man is, how much he has served this great city, the longest-serving commissioner of the NYPD in history, author of the book Vigilance, Commissioner Ray Kelly on the phone. Commissioner, welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Joe. It's great to be with you, and you certainly have an all-star cast with you as well.
I did. We took the best picture, and the most buzz I got online was a picture of you, me, and Carol Auth, sir. So it was just an honor to be with you and Carol, of course, and she's in the studio now, and your buddy Arthur Aidala is here. That was a great night. Could you tell us exactly what the night was about last night, Commissioner, and why you were there?
Well, this is an event sponsored by the Federal Enforcement Homeland Security Foundation. And as you know, Secretary Ridge was there. He helped found the organization, and actually those awards last night were in his name. It is an effort to recognize and reward good work on the part of Homeland security employees who do great work. They're on our borders. They're in our skies. They do in-depth investigations, and they generally don't get enough credit. So that's what that foundation is all about. I thought last night was just a terrific night. It had a great feeling to it, and to have you there was really special as well. You and Carol and Artie, you guys are stars, and that certainly elevates it.
No, we're in awe of you, Ray Kelly. I'll tell you. And before I'm going to talk to.
You were afraid. You were afraid to ask him for a photo.
That's Carol, Commissioner. Because I have such.
I wish I was taller, Carol.
Good morning, Commissioner. You are a man of great stature. No worries about that.
So It's true. Arthur knows this. And I'm out there. There's Ray Kelly, man. And I know Greg, and Greg's a buddy. But Ray, this is Ray. And forgive me, Commissioner. I know he's a very humble guy, as you know, Arthur, right? So I was going to get a picture. And then in the craziness of the evening, people whisked Commissioner Kelly away. I lost my...
I know, but your face fell. I mean, it was like your face literally fell. And he was like, oh, I wanted a picture with Ray Kelly.
Who rescued me?
And I said, well, ask him. He goes, but he's like running away. I'm like, I run over to Ray Kelly. I'm like, Commissioner, would you mind taking a photo with Joe over there? It's like I can ask for someone else, but I couldn't ask for me.
You were definitely one of the stars of the show. I saw so many members of the service come over to you and thank you and whisper in your ear and thank you for all you did and you enhanced my career and all your public service.
Yes.
So you should feel great.
Well, no, I certainly enjoyed it. It was a terrific night. Saw a lot of familiar faces, a lot of old friends. So it was great for me.
Yeah, and Commissioner, what about happened in Toronto? Do we know if this was a terror attack or not, sir?
Well, that would be the sort of initial reaction. That certainly was my reaction when I heard about it, but it's gotten a little more complicated. Investigators, certainly in Toronto, but also here in the U.S., have looked at this individual, and they're questioning, first of all, he has no criminal record. And he wasn't on anybody's radar screen. But they're questioning some posts that he made on Facebook about an individual whose name is Elliot Rodger. Now, Elliot Rodger was a mass shooter in Isla Vista, California in 2014. He killed 7 people, I think wounded 14 others. But he wrote a manifesto. The manifesto is like 140 pages long, and in essence, it's a diatribe against women. This individual was apparently rejected by women, and some sort of cult had sprung up, apparently, from this manifesto. Obviously, they're trying to get more information about it, but I certainly thought it was almost a standard terrorist attack now. You know, we had one here, Sapov, this person's name was down here in Battery Park, where he killed 8 people. That was just 6 months ago, and we've had these incidents all over, certainly Western Europe, but this may be a little bit different.
What's going on with the mental illness aspect? What in regard to what you're talking about, the Waffle House shooting in Parkland? How as a law enforcement official, Commissioner, how do you see that? How do you see the red flags, and how do we stop this?
Well, it's just not enough information, not enough regulations about people with mental disorders. You know, to get into the gun database, and I'm not sure if the AR-15 was his father's or his own, but in order to get into the gun database, as far as a mental problem is concerned, you have to be adjudicated as a mentally unfit. That means you have to be involuntarily put into an institution. That is a very, very high bar. And states only give that information voluntarily. They're not mandated to give it to the federal government. So there's a huge, huge hole in the background check system. Whether or not it would have applied here, but if you look at his record, I mean, he's done a lot of strange things. He jumped over the White House fence. Yep. He confronted people. He was wearing a pink dress. I mean, this is obviously a deranged individual that certainly didn't get the treatment that he deserved, and results in four deaths. So we need to address that gap. There is legislation in Congress to fill it, but who knows what's going to happen down there with it.
This is the legend Commissioner Ray Kelly with Piscopo in the morning. Carol Auth in the studio with us. Arthur Aidala. Frankie Five Boroughs is here. Albert as well. And you can call 877-970-2999. 829 right now. Commissioner Kelly, we saw 2 weeks ago these 2 Florida police officers murdered while having lunch. Is there a war on cops, sir?
Well, I think there's always a war on cops. It sort of ebbs and flows, but there's always people out there who hate police. I mean, in the 1970s in this city, when I was on patrol, we had, in 1971, for instance, 15 police officers killed in this city. 12 of them were, and this is where Piagentini and Jones shooting took place. Shortly after that, we had Foster and Laurie, 2 police officers assassinated. I mean, police always have to be on guard. As we can see, there's a lot of people out there with mental problems, with a lot of hatred, and police Look, they're sitting ducks in many ways. You know, you can have some body resistant armor on or whatever, but unfortunately, you can't be on guard all the time. These two officers, I believe, were in a diner, and they were just assassinated again. So that's part of the job, unfortunately. That's something you have to accept when you sign on to be a police officer.
And Commissioner Kelly, forgive me, because you are one of the most humble individuals that we know. When people come onto this program, they sometimes go right to the administration. If you were offered to be director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, sir, that's something that Frank Morano has talked about from day one, would you consider it?
Well, that's not going to happen. But I appreciate the I appreciate the
You're not
the
even
thought.
think-
I
yeah.
think the individual there now is very competent and
Chris Ray,
well regarded.
Sure. And Commissioner O'Neill doing a good job. I was with Cardinal Dolan. What's with all the Irish guys? Can you get an Italian guy in there, Commissioner, once in a while, though?
You know, I said the department looks like the Holy Name breakfast in 1962.
It's so true.
All these Irish guys.
Yeah. Commissioner Kelly, thank you. Carol says thank you. It was great to have you. And that was great last night,
It was
Carol.
great last night. Thank you,
Great being
Commissioner.
with you.
And thanks for the picture, Commissioner. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Artie sends his best, and Frankie Morano as well, sir. Thank you. Commissioner Ray Kelly right there. He is the legend. Longest-serving commissioner of the NYPD. He's got a great book, too, called Vigilance. Piscopo in the morning. It's 8:32. Big Al standing by dutifully, as he always is. He has the headline news live and local on AM 970, The Answer.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970, The Answer.
53 degrees at 8:33. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. The fire that's ripping through a row of Bronx businesses. Now a 5-alarm fire broke down the roof covering 8 stores in the Fordham section. Broke out just before 5:30 this morning on East 194th Street and Marion Avenue. Flames could be seen shooting out of a laundromat and pizza store, quickly spreading to a pharmacy, barbershop, and other stores. Thick black smoke can be seen for miles as firefighters work to bring the fire under control. No injuries are reported, and no word yet on the cause of the fire. The mayor of Jersey City says the failure of a Kushner luxury project is not his doing. The Hudson Reporter reports that an $800 million redevelopment agreement between Jersey City and Kushner Companies, whose ownership includes presidential son-in-law Jared Kushner, may no longer meet municipal requirements to continue. Kushner Companies has publicly suggested that city mayor and Democrat Stephen Fulop may have political motives in not supporting the project. Fulop, however, tweeted out Monday that while he disagrees with everything about the president, this decision stands on its own merit, saying the Kushners themselves have been delaying the project for years. In sports, Giancarlo Stanton went 4 for 4, a home run, 2 RBIs. Yankees smoked the Twins 14-1. Didi Gregorius added a grand slam. Miguel Andujar and Tyler Austin also went deep for the Bombers. Masahiro Tanaka got his 3rd win on the season. Stuck in traffic? Debbie Duhame's got the answer.
Good morning, Al. Thanks a lot. We're seeing delays right now on the J train. It looks like delays with a stalled train. Newark Light Rail, 15-minute delays. New Jersey Transit Raritan Valley Line. Watch for 20-minute delays between Cranford and Newark Penn with the disabled freight train. Over on the Southern State Parkway, westbound at Belmont Ave into West Babylon, a collision. Sunrise Highway West at 5th Ave into Bayshore, a collision over there as well. Traffic is still moving pretty slowly for you this morning on the Deegan North by the stadium with an accident just cleaned up. That's finally out of the way. Traffic is still moving slowly as well on the westbound belt at Cross Bay Boulevard. That accident on the shoulder. Inbound Holland Tunnel, a disabled vehicle 25 to 30 in at the Holland. Lincoln 30, GWB still about 40 to 45. 17 north at Midland Ave and Paramus getting reports of a collision there as well. Knoxon Road at Vincent Road in Poughkeepsie closed with a collision. Cloudy today with a high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Sponsored by Frontline Plus. Protect your pets from fleas and ticks with Frontline Plus for dogs and Frontline Plus for cats. It's been trusted by vets for nearly 20 years and is the #1 name in flea and tick protection. Why would you use anything else? Pick some up now.
Hi, this is Joe Piscopo. I don't think there's any more important service in any community than a hospital emergency room. The ER is where you go in crisis and where you expect to find dedicated, talented professionals any time of the day or night. Let me tell you that the ER at Trinitas Regional Medical Center is such a place in the Elizabeth and Union County communities. And the best news is Trinitas is growing their ER to serve you better. They're doubling the number of treatment rooms, adding state-of-the-art technology, and creating separate favorite private areas for families and seniors. The community is 100% behind Trinitas, and they're donating the entire $18 million cost of this project. Trinitas is an outstanding place for healing. I've been there. I've met the people. Please learn more about Trinitas Regional Medical Center by visiting TrinitasRMC.org today. That's TrinitasRMC.org. Thank you.
We all know the secret to the best Italian food is the sauce, and no one has sauce as good as Michael's of Brooklyn. Their sauce is made from scratch, using only the best ingredients. But don't take our word for it. Stop at any of your local supermarkets and pick up a jar, or listen to the Joe Piscopo Morning Show every Wednesday for a chance to win a whole case of Michael's delicious, authentic, and fresh sauce. You can also enter online at am970theanswer.com. That's am970theanswer.com. Good luck.
Mike, thanks for coming in. It's party time. Mike Gallagher here. Mike Gallagher, is this not icing on the cake?
What's going on? We having a party here? What's going on?
Non-stop action on the Piscopo show.
Aidala is here. It's a party.
No, I'm telling you. Now, what do you think? Before we do anything, 8:36, and Mike's going to give you a preview what he's talking about. 10 o'clock. This great broadcaster sitting right next to me right now. And we're online on YouTube and on Facebook. My Pillow, Mr. My Pillow, Mr. Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell.
How great is this guy?
The best. He's the best. Is there anybody better? Maybe you. That's it.
No. I'm telling you. And then you sell on your show so many pills because you use the promo code AM970 because you throw some to us.
Mike G. Promo code Mike G.
If you're listening, please, AM970 is the code at mypillow.com.
Now I'm going to get yelled at by Jerry Crowley.
Yeah,
AM970. AM970 till 9. Until 10. Mike G after 10.
Fair enough. A special offer from Mr. Mike Lindell, and he takes this very seriously. When he talks comes in with us, and Al and I had to sit down how he invented the Mike Pillow.
Amazing story.
He went through the whole thing, man.
Yep.
And
he was an addict when he invented the pillow, and he admits that freely. He'll say, "Listen, I was at rock bottom. I lost everything. Lost my world." He pulls himself out of addiction, finds God. Never appears in public without his cross around his neck. He's been sober for many, many years, and he's got he only cranks out 80,000 pillows a day.
And then he stays politically. Carol, Mike Lindell is the inventor of My Pillow. Great, he's a great guy.
I have a My Pillow.
There you go.
Carol knows.
But he knows, and he goes and he invented this, and he's very true to his faith and true to his politics. And then everybody goes against him and says, well, you're too this, you're too that. My Pillow spiked 30% this last month.
He gets targeted, as so many businesses do. He says, you know what? I advertise where the eyes are and where the ears are, so I'm going to stay with Fox News in the midst of all these, and he's on MSNBC, and he's on CNN, and he's on AM 970, The Answer. He's everywhere.
And he loves you, Mike Gallagher.
He loves you. I mean, there's a picture of Joe Piscopo and Mike Lindell in their corporate headquarters in Minnesota at a ball game. You guys were where was that?
Yeah, it was at the St. Paul Saints game. We broke the Guinness Book of Records because we wanted to do the world's largest pillow fight.
Right, that's right.
Stephen Baldwin directed it. We saw Stephen last night, Carol.
Yes, we did. Trying to sneak by us with his glasses on and his head down. I was like, are you trying to sneak by us?
Mike Lindell's got this for you, listening exclusively to AM 970 The Answer. 50% off the My Pillow 4-pack, which includes 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. 50% off. Go to mypillow.com, or you can call 800-651-0798, or go to mypillow.com. Promo code up to 9 o'clock is AM.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. AM 970.
AM
Thank you, Mike.
For the best light sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Beautiful. Sung by Mike Gallagher. Unbelievable.
Joe Walsh. Coming up tonight at 9 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the Smart Way to Buy.com studios.
Well, so Mike Gallagher came in only because Carol Auth is here and Arthur Aidala.
No, it was Arthur, actually. No disrespect. That's all. But
Joe, you understand, Mike and I have a bond.
We do.
In high school, man, Mike's sophomore year, I sang Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat from Guys and Dolls.
I remember
that. Can we hear a few bars? Come on.
I dreamed last night I got on the boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood.
And I
Harold, you had to ask.
He needed no prompting, Joe. Come on. He was fighting at the bit to do that.
You got to come to Dallas and see me. See if I live up to your...
Sit down. Sit down. You're rocking the boat. Sit down, people.
You did this?
I got a standing ovation in
high school. You do the number right. right.
Mike is going to Texas and doing a weekend, doing a few shows. He does these Broadway shows. He's actually quite good at it.
Okay.
And he does South Carolina. You're going to Texas. What
Dallas, Texas, a beautiful theater in downtown.
This is the number you're
Theater.
doing. What are the?
Yeah, I'm going to play nicely in this big production. 40-piece orchestra.
Perfect was that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I played it a couple years ago, and it's a great part, nicely sings Guys and Dolls.
Sing a lot of great
songs. The Feud for Tin
Absolutely.
Horns in the very beginning. I got the horse right here.
His name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says it.
Al, we've lost complete control.
Can do. Yeah, so, and you'll be my understudy. You can be my alternate. You go on every other show. He's ready.
Arthur, I dare you in front of a federal judge to break into that song.
Listen, there are scenes from me that are right now, if you go to CBSNews.com from 48 hours, just 4 weeks ago, in my last summation, I sang
No, you did
the
not.
song from Grease, Summer Lovin' had me a blast.
I saw that on 48 Hours.
That's right. You did.
I did.
That was me.
What, to the jury you were singing?
I sang it to
He
the jury
sang it to the jury in his summation.
Because the whole thing happened in the summer, and then it ended, and that was part of my whole theme, was that it was only a summer fling. I said, you guys remember Grease? Summer lovin' had me a blast. And of course, in my hour-and-a-half summation, that's what they put on 48
This is great. And Michael, at $1,000 an hour. That's so bad.
Hey, don't cut my rates. Don't cut my rates.
That's $250 a half
Don't
note.
cut my rates.
I mean, wow. Music solves everything, though, guys. I mean,
It's so
I want to
true.
know, did you win?
Well, it's a matter of interpretation.
I think that's a no.
How could they not root for
But you know, Mike, what you just said, music solves everything. My mother was a New York City public school teacher for 40 years, and primarily she did early childhood education.
Hi,
pre-K and
Marianne. We
kindergarten.
love Marianne.
It was all about music.
Yeah.
She always
I
had
love.
music. She taught them the colors with music. She taught them their eyes, ears, nose, and
What is it? What is the date? Because
June 8th through the 11th.
you're doing the words now. You're learning everything.
Not yet. No. I mean, there's two and a half weeks of rehearsal, so I'm going to be there from mid-May to mid-June.
You taking off the show to rehearse?
No, I'll do the show. The network is actually headquartered in Dallas, so it kind of works. I'll work out of the network studios. Just
your old stomping grounds, man.
Yeah, my kids are there. My second oldest son and my granddaughter. So, and Arthur's right about the power of music. And Joe, nobody knows it better than you do.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
it's just same with my family. A little boy, my mom and dad dragged me to shows and concerts, and I just developed a love of theater and musical theater. Yeah, a funny story about uniting people, too. Years ago, AM 970 had a billboard right in the theater district, and they had a big picture of my fat face, and it was like fighting liberal lunacy or something, so you knew I was a conservative. And a friend of mine was in a Broadway show. I'm not going to mention the show. And an older, very distinguished actress who's been a Broadway legend for years, she looks up and she says, look at that guy, that conservative, who he thinks he is. And the friend turns to her and says, well, actually, he's a great advocate for theater. He's an equity actor, and he loves our show. He's been to our show a lot, and he actually invested in our show. She switched, and she said, I'd love to meet him. He sounds like a very interesting young man.
Just like an actor,
just
right?
Just like that, an actor. Oh, well, if he's supporting our industry, but it kind of united them. It was like and little did she know what a big conservative he was, because he didn't tell
Mike,
me.
I have to go here. Forgive me, Carol. I tell you, you really, and with respect, one of the world's most beautiful women.
Indeed.
And Mike is personal friends with Melania Trump. So
please,
personal friend. Matter of fact,
that's stalker.
That was before she was with the
matter of
president.
fact, you're beating up a little bit.
Yeah,
next to Carol.
Personal friends. I mean,
but
she's got a restraining order.
I was thinking, as with Carol, as grounded as she is, Melania's got that same quality. She's very, very grounded. Yeah. Why isn't she, for example, on? And they always say, why isn't she on magazines everywhere? And out front, and the state dinner she's doing with Macron tonight. She deserves much more credit, I think, than she's getting. No,
and she was criticized even after going to Barbara Bush's funeral, and there were some kind of smarmy comments. Listen, this is a very volatile time, and we all know it. There's a lot of people who are, look at the Kanye West thing right now with this Candace Owens, and Kanye dares to say some supportive things of the sitting president of the United States, and they're blasting him. Yeah. It's like so many strange things are happening around the country. We're going to dive into it. This awful terrorist attack yesterday in Toronto.
Do they know that it's terrorist attack?
Well, it's you run over 9 people, 10 people with a car, whether it's domestic, whether it's, I don't know that there's any indication that it was Islamic terrorism, but certainly, and the working theory is somebody who's mentally ill. But the mayor of Toronto immediately holds a press conference and wants to reassure everybody that we're the center of inclusiveness. And you hear that and you think, wait a minute, why would you go there after your city is reeling from such an awful inclusiveness?
Yeah.
What does inclusiveness have to do with anything? And none of those families who have to bury these people are worried about inclusiveness right
It's
now.
true. And Mike, are you going to touch on, I want to ask Arthur about it before we get out of here in the 9 o'clock hour. 8:45 with Joe on the radio with Carol Auth and Mike Gallagher, Arthur here, Frankie and Alla here as well. Michael Cohen, I sat next to Michael Cohen, just a nice guy. You know, one of the events like we went to at Carol last night. I'm sitting and we're talking to this guy. Then all of a sudden they go after him. And Arthur, what about the civil rights? We're losing complete sight of that. Now they're getting, did they pressure General Flynn? They pressure Michael Cohen to a point where they want to quote unquote flip. Is that where they're going with all this?
Oh, that's definitely where they're going. You know what I hope is, and I'm a eternal optimist. I hope there's nothing to flip on. In other words,
no reason
the government only wants to talk to you if you have valuable information about criminal acts that have taken place.
Yeah.
So my first instinct is, well, I hope there is no criminal acts that took place. Michael Cohen, I know him personally, not well, but I've been in his company several times. I've spoken to him on the phone many, many times. He's Donald Trump's personal attorney. So, hypothetically, when Donald Trump has a new driver, he makes him sign a confidentiality agreement. When Donald Trump is buying a new deal, he does, certain aspects of things for him. Michael Gallagher, I really hope that Donald Trump did everything legally, and there is nothing to flip on.
I have to believe that the fiercest President Trump critic is able to sit back and say, this whole investigation began with the path to find out if there was collusion with the Russians to meddle or tamper with our election. There hasn't been one shred of evidence to back that. Now we've gone into all these different directions, but that the whole point of the special counsel was to determine and incidentally, as somebody who wants the president to succeed, I'd be the first one to say if the Russians and the Trump campaign meddled with the election and impacted our democracy, throw the book at everybody you can. We don't want that in this country. Nobody expects that. Nobody.
So what's happened with the general counsel is it's gone too expansive. And I will tell you, Justice Antonin Scalia always said he hated the special counsel rule.
This is why.
Because you're not supposed to appoint a prosecutor. And not to make this a Democrat-Republican thing, there was the same thing with Whitewater. That was garbage. That went too far astray. Ken Starr overstepped his bounds.
It's a good analogy, Arthur.
And Mueller's overstepping his bounds.
It's fair.
It's bad for America.
When you see a liberal Democrat like Alan Dershowitz constantly talk about the rule of law, follow the rule of law, and he's now being bashed by the left because he's objective, it seems.
Speaking of music, he requested, Professor Dershowitz, we met at Geraldo's party. We went over there. We were thinking he's going to ask me some legal question or how I should...
He wants you to do New York, New York.
Yeah. No, my way.
My way, of course, or my way.
Well, which I'm doing, which I never do.
You never do. That's the old man.
But I'm doing it for Avi Dershowitz.
Right.
Mike Gallagher's got to go 8:48.
Great to meet you, Carol.
Nice to meet
great
you,
seeing
Mike.
you, counselor.
You're the best.
Happy
Nicely,
Tuesday,
nicely.
Always
everybody.
great having you with us, Mike Gallagher.
How you doing? Nicely. Thank you.
Mike, we have a great show, man. We'll be listening. 10 o'clock, Mike Gallagher on AM 970, The Answer, and around these fine United States of America. Debbie, we're going to come right back and bid adieu to our dear friends. But right now, let's jump to Debbie Duhame on the roads for you on AM970TheAnswer.com.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Let's see what's happening right now as you take a ride over to the Bruckner West at 149th. An accident just cleared away. We're still seeing delays on the eastbound belt out past Cross Bay Boulevard with an accident. Traffic is moving a little bit slowly on the westbound belt through that stretch as well. Watch out for some slowdowns over on the LIE eastbound, getting right out toward the Cross Island Parkway. Traffic is still moving pretty slowly for you on Route 1 northbound, getting up through South Brunswick. That's an accident investigation, getting up past the area of Dean's Lane. 22 westbound at the Garden State Parkway. 2 lanes blocked with emergency construction still out there. Inbound GWB waiting 30 minutes. Lincoln 35. Holland Tunnel, a couple of disabled vehicles in the Holland Tunnel, 25 to 30 there as well. Traffic is still moving slowly on the southbound side of the New York State Thruway, getting into the Tappan Zee Bridge and the Kingston-Rhinecliff Bridge. It's some ongoing construction over there. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Wednesday afternoon, it's your information fast lane at AM 970, The Answer. Michael Medved blasts off at 3. Kevin McCullough, breaking news as it happens at 4. John Katzimatidis getting both sides of the story at 5. And Chase Seculo, making news from the nation's capital. At 6, get your information super infusion. Every Wednesday, the stories you need and the analysis you trust. Only on AM 970. The Answer.
Hi, it's Steve Adubato. AM 970 listeners want the whole story, not just simple sound bites. That's why I'm asking you to watch my TV show, One-on-One with Steve Adubato, for important conversations with great guests. So check out One-on-One with me, Steve Adubato, weeknights at 7 p.m. on NJTV, 11:30 p.m. on Fios 1, and late night on WNET Channel 13. That's PBS at 1 a.m.
Catch my friend Steve Adubato every weeknight on One-on-One with Steve Adubato.
Butler Builders understands that strong buildings and strong communities start with a network of strong construction professionals. When you work with a Butler builder like Stuart Berger Construction, established in 1959 as your local builder in New York City and on Long Island, you're building on more than concrete and steel. You're building relationships. Call Stuart Berger Construction, 212-925-7405. That's 212-925-7405. Or online at stuartberger.com. That's stuartberger.com.
Hi, Kevin McCullough. You've heard me frequently talk about the number of children in Haiti that face cruel and unusual circumstances. Friends, it's an inhumane reality to understand that children are constantly facing these realities and that acts of nature have only made them worse. But we can do something about that. Our friends Food for the Poor have been on the ground for more than 30 years in Haiti, and right now we have the opportunity to help rescue 520 Haitian children for the coming year. $50 will feed a child for the full year and supply clean drinking water, purified, beautiful, delicious, clean drinking water for the rest of their life. And due to a very generous matching gift, for those of you that can do at least 3 children in the next 10 minutes, so a one-time gift of $150, your gift will be automatically doubled. But a gift of any size helps right now rescue a child. 855-919-4673. That's 855-919-4673.
Thanks, Kevin. Piscopo in the morning, 8:52. We're going to have weather in just 2 seconds, but I want to tell you about the Bramnick Law Firm, if I can. Lawyers John and Brent Bramnick in the Bramnick Law Firm can be reached 7 days a week. You know, their phone consultations are free. Accident cases are handled on a contingency fee. No recovery, no fee. John Bramnick began his law practice back in '84, right? And now has 17 lawyers and a staff of 30 ready to assist you. Not every accident results in a lawsuit, you know that. But if a lawsuit is necessary, the Bramnicks have the resources to pursue the case and to take it to trial. Not all cases require a trial, but Bramnick lawyers have the trial experience necessary to fight for your fair compensation. If you're wondering how you're going to pay your medical bills, right, how you're going to be compensated for lost earnings, the Bramnicks have all the answers. The Bramnick lawyers handle on-the-job accidents as well as a wide variety of cases involving negligence. Here is the number for Bramnick. It's 877-423-4878, or you can go to johnbramnick.com, JONBRAMNICK.com.
Eric Metaxas, the show about everything, coming up tonight at 11 on AM 970. The Answer.
Portions of this show sponsored by Route 22 Toyota.
Live from New York on AM 970 The Answer, streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook, AM970theanswer.com. It has been, Carol Auth, an honor and a privilege to have you here. I tell you, magnificently beautiful is one thing, but being the great gal, grounded gal that you are.
It was worth getting up early, Joe. I had a great time here with all
Carol
you guys.
Auth,
Thank you so much for your welcome.
You're welcome anytime. Look, and just off mic, we were talking about so many things. We want to bring you back to talk about it if we can.
Absolutely.
And if I'm lost,
I hear Frank has my number.
Frankie Five Boroughs.
That was smooth. I will only use it for cat questions, I promise.
And Carol, if I'm meandering aimlessly at an event, may I have your permission to call you?
You have my permission to check in. Yes.
You were laser focused last night, and thank you. An honor to be with you. Thank you so much, Arthur.
Enjoyable.
And I love you, Arthur.
Joe,
I know.
2 things. Number one, I'm not going far because you got this chef coming in with all this
Hang,
food. So
man,
I may
you
not
can
be on
hang
the air,
with us.
You can hang with us. Number 2, a quick shout out to Kenny, who's part of the L&B Spumoni Gardens.
Kenny.
He actually makes the Spumoni.
Thank you, Mr. Acovano.
And he's a big fan, and he said he loved the show. He said the chemistry amongst all of you today, especially Al Gattulo. It was off the chart. And Al didn't explode today, Carol. That's the common effect.
No, he did before the show.
Before the show, he exploded? All right, but once Carol arrived.
Arthur, I yelled at Frank before the show.
Love to your family. Arthur, appreciate it, guys. Let's go to Joe Lumberg. Joe, you got to come in the studio and hang with the gang one of these days, buddy. You know?
That sounds like fun. I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'm up for that.
We always listen. Weather-wise, 8:55. How are we looking for the day and through the weekend, Joey?
We're looking pretty good through the weekend. Now, there's one really clunker of a day, and that's tomorrow. It's not today. I think we see some sun giving way to clouds today. We're above 60. Rainy tomorrow, although I think the worst of the rain is in the morning, and we probably don't make it to 60. But then we get some sun to return, low 60s on Thursday. A chance of some showers on Friday, but right now it looks like the weekend is dry. Kind of cool, but not too bad. And then we get warmer next week.
Thank you. Joe Lumberg, always appreciate it. You come into the studio, please, will you?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
All right, we appreciate it. Joe Lumberg, our marathon meteorologist. This guy, he runs marathons. This guy runs marathons. He runs marathons and he bikes like 100 miles. When I tell you 100 miles, he was like, what did he tell us, Joe Lumberg? He was like 200-some plus pounds, maybe more. And he lost like 100 pounds, and now he just works out. He's like a marathon man.
Joe, we were talking about some machine you were working on this morning. What
Cybex.
machine?
It was Cybex machine, right, Carol? The Cybex machines in the gym?
I don't know the Cybex machine, but I have a machine that takes the place of 5 gym machines.
Wait a minute. Listen.
What's his name?
It's 3.
Smack him. Back of your hand.
He's
Back of your hand.
too far away. My arms aren't long enough.
Sorry, scusa.
No, it's a new product that I just found. It's called Core 46, and it does the same thing as 5 machines, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 times.
Rubber band based by chance?
Sorry?
Rubber band based?
No. Well, it's got a spring inside,
Yeah.
so you can pull, you can bend,
Yeah.
you can lift, so you get your arms. Like I have arms of steel. I never had arms before. I was always like, I lost the Cosmo cover because they said your arms are too skinny.
No, for real?
For real.
Frank, is that ever
I have the
lost the
Polaroid of
Cosmo
it.
cover?
I have the
So
Polaroid.
what
of it.
did you say?
I misplaced it.
What did you say? You just went like that. Okay, fine, and you let it go. See, you could have called Arthur. You could have sued them. Nowadays, you
Right, nowadays,
Yeah,
it's just
it's
too much
armed
of that. It is
discrimination.
what it
Armed
is,
discrimination.
Right? Well, not anymore. Last night we took a photo together, and I'm like, geez, my arms look really kind of big.
No.
You know, because they're like muscular now.
Joe
No
was on the
underarm
cover
flab with
of-
the Core 46,
of,
I gotta
Muscle
tell you.
and Fitness.
Yeah, I'm back in the day, but I'm trying to
Oh,
stay.
I gotta send you one of these.
Oh,
I'm
you know what?
actually auctioning one off at our Shelter Chic May 10th.
Give us a-
event
Joe,
at
are we
Tao.
going on May 10th? Are we going to go to the show? I mean, show us
If we-
support. Maybe you can sing a
Miss
couple
Salt,
of tunes.
If Miss Salt sees fit to invite us, Arthur, you don't want. I don't want to
It's
be
a
obnoxious
charity
here. I don't want
event.
to.
I think I mean, right? Isn't it?
Hey, give it,
are we supposed to be
Carol.
there
Give us
to-
the plug for your event that's happening May 10th. Where is
Oh,
it?
yeah, great. Thanks. It's shelterchic.org, and it's at Tao on May 10th in the evening,
Wow.
and we save older animals. You know, everybody else fights for the
Can you
puppies
save
and the
older
kittens.
people like me? Can
You know,
do
that's
a-
why I save older animals, because like I think I kind of feel for them. You know, it's
Oh.
kind of like, you know, you
I think
hate
it's
to
great.
get old and get tossed to the side, and
That's great.
so that's where I got my kitties from. So-
Well,
and they're the loves of my life. Next
anyway-
to you, Joe.
Yeah.
You know.
Anywhere you're going to be, we're going to be. If you need any help in that regard,
that's
please let us
awesome.
know.
Thank you.
And come back again. And Arthur, you can hang. And listen, David Burke is going to join us live. You don't want to miss this spectacular.
I got to escape because, you know, I eat raw food, and he's bringing in all this great cooked
He's
stuff.
got the pretzel,
It's so
Parmesan
tempting.
pretzel. David Burke live in the studio. He is from Iron Chef America and an all-around great guy. Also, Assemblyman Robert Auth is going to be here. We're going to be talking about the proposed tax increases in the great state of New Jersey. Say it ain't so. Jersey Joe on the radio. Carol Auth, thank you very much. We love you. Arthur, stick around. Frankie is here. Al is here. Debbie is here. Coming right back at you. Don't you go away.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970. The Answer.
53 degrees at 8:59. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. A FedEx driver is in custody after allegedly stabbing a man on the street in Midtown. Officials say the incident happened yesterday afternoon at 33rd Street and 5th Avenue near the Empire State Building. Police say 28-year-old Jack Jindy was stabbed in the chest by 22-year-old Marique Taekwon Bailey. He was taken to the hospital, expected to survive. A memorial mass is going to be held for Mets Hall of Famer Rusty Staub at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Staub, who passed away on March 29th at the age of 73, will be honored Wednesday at 2 p.m. Staub had battled a number of health issues in recent years. Members of the NYPD, FDNY, and Port Authority Police ceremonial pipe bands will be on hand with Timothy Cardinal Dolan leading the ceremony. In sports, Yankees crushed the Twins 14-1. You now know what's going on. I'm Al Gattulo, AM 970, The Answer.
From the studios of AM 970 The Answer on Broadway and Wall Street in Manhattan, this is WNYM, Hackensack, New Jersey, New York City.
News this hour. I'm Rich Thomason. Toronto Mayor John Tory says Torontonians are a resilient lot.
We're going to carry on with heavy hearts.
Grieving the loss of 10 people killed when the driver of a rented van mowed them down yesterday on a crowded sidewalk along one of the city's busiest streets. Police say it appeared to be a deliberate act. A 25-year-old suspect is in custody. His motive is not clear at this point. 15 people were injured. A suspect in Sunday's shootings at a Tennessee Waffle House, now behind bars. Travis Reinking was captured in a wooded area not far from the scene of the attack that left 4 people dead. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee put CIA Director Mike Pompeo on a course to be confirmed by the full Senate for Secretary of State.
Mr. Chairman, the tally is 11 ayes, 9 noes, and 1 present.
Senator Bob Corker, the chairman of the committee, responded after the clerk's reading of the vote.
We were reporting to the floor in a positive manner. I want to thank members of this committee for the diligence they've displayed. I think we've done the right thing together. I want to thank Senator Coons.
Senator Corker thanked Democratic Senator Chris Coons, who changed his vote from no to present, giving the nomination just enough heft it needed for a positive recommendation to the full Senate. Linda Kenyon, Washington.
After months of delay, Congress will finally get a look at documents dealing with the Clinton email server.
The deal follows a meeting between the heads of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees with U.S. Attorney John Lausch, the person named by the Justice Department to respond to Republican demands for the documents. The 2 committees are jointly investigating alleged anti-Trump bias at the Justice Department and the FBI.
That's Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. We're looking for a higher open later this morning on Wall Street. Dow futures up 128 points. NASDAQ futures 26 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Okay, I have to admit it. I get a real kick out of reading all the testimonials of people who are now out of pain because of Relief Factor. Michael Medved here again, and I've never been more serious than when I tell people they can lower or even eliminate their pain with the help of Relief Factor. 100% drug-free, just 95 cents a day to see if you can get out of pain, too. You have nothing to lose but your pain and the whole world to gain. The 3-week quick start starts at $19.95 at ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
If you're feeling run down and you don't have the energy that you used to, it's probably because you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. It's time to try Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in capsule form. Balance of Nature is not like ordinary vitamins that are made with synthetics. It's just natural food in a vegetarian capsule with tens of thousands of vital nutrients from 100% whole food plants, fruits, and vegetables. Each capsule has 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and once you start taking Balance of Nature, you'll feel great. People report that their skin looks better, they have less aches and pains, and they have a lot more energy. It's time to improve the quality of your life. Call Balance of Nature, 1-800-2468-751, and use the promo code The Answer for 35% off your first month's supply, or go to balanceofnature.com. But make sure you use the promo code The Answer. Good health is only a phone call away. Call Balance of Nature, 800-2468-751. Use the promo code The Answer.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer.
Alternate side parking rules are in effect. Traffic moving slowly Deegan north by the stadium with an accident clear. Traffic is moving very slowly as you head over to the FDR Drive. The FDR Drive southbound. Stop and go traffic as you get down through the 60s. And traffic is moving slowly on the westbound belt at Erskine Street. An accident still being cleaned up from that spot as well. Southern State westbound getting out toward Belmont Avenue, a collision. Sunrise Highway west at 5th Ave to Bayshore. That's an accident being cleared. And over on the LIE west at Old Nichols Road, a collision. Inbound side of the GWB 30, Lincoln 35, Holland 25. Traffic is building on 78 eastbound out by exit 24 with an accident still working, and some stop-and-go traffic on 22 west at the Garden State Parkway with ongoing construction. Southbound Thruway building at the Tappan Zee Bridge. Clouds today with a high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Live from the smartwaytobuy.com studios.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day with your host, former Saturday Night Live superstar Joe Piscopo. Produced by Frank Morano with news guy Al Gattulo and traffic with Debbie Duhame. This is Piscopo in the morning on AM 970. The Answer.
Aidala in the studio. I'm never ready. I never know what's going to happen. I got both barrels. What a morning. Piscopo in the morning. It's 9:05 on AM 970. The Answer. Well, it's not your regular. This is not your daddy's normal radio show. Frankie Fibros is in the house. Albert's here. Frankie, thanks for
any cat questions anymore.
No. But it was so cute. And Frank Morano, let me tell you, Frankie works very hard to produce this show and bring some great guests to the show. And then you will give me these great questions. So, Joe, you might want to ask this, and I appreciate that more. I can tell you the humility that Mr. Morano showed. But he stepped out of the studio when Carol was here, when Arthur was here. He's producing the whole show. David, he steps out. I thought that was great, Frankie. But then that's right, Frankie Fibros.
See, I've been waiting my whole life to get applause on the show. All I had to do was leave. I had to get applauded.
But he interviewed her for his show for Sunday.
But
I got another cat
he did
question.
accost Miss Alt on the way out about cats. That was a little scary, but that was okay. But she gave you some good advice.
Absolutely. I'm
what a smart, magnificent girl.
Absolutely.
What
woman?
I mean,
woman.
Look, I'm old. I'm going to think out.
She's a woman.
David Burke in the house with magnificent cuisine. David, welcome back. You can't go anywhere now. You got to stay here by popular demand.
I have a number of cat questions for you as well.
We have so many David Burke stories. The island story is now legendary. How to meet a nice girl. Just pretend you're picking out and buying islands on a plane, which is great. And so, listen, before I don't want to let this go. Yeah. You're offering like a Mother's Day kind of deal to listeners.
I want to give the listeners a little homework.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You know, and the homework is how to make ricotta cheese, which is so simple, it's crazy. So we're going to post a recipe.
You know how to make it, Arthur?
I made these 4 cheeses yesterday.
I know you got to do something with milk.
You boil heavy cream.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. So
you boil. Let's say you take a quart of milk.
Okay.
You bring it up to like baby temp, a little hot, 200 lemon juice, salt.
Yeah.
Strain it. They use cheesecloth. You just use a paper towel.
Look
and you got this is 2 quarts.
Wow.
It makes a quart will make a pound of fresh cheese, less than 20 hours. Now, the idea here is go on my website, chefdavidburke.com, or your website.
Yeah.
You're going to have the basic recipe. Whoever comes now, I put rose petals in one, herbs in the other, pistachio in one, and truffles.
You made this homemade.
I want someone to make it for the mother for Mother's Day. I want the recipe. I want the ideas next week.
Okay.
Whoever the best idea I think is,
okay.
I'll buy them dinner on my Mother's Day with their mother.
Wow.
Yep.
You're going to buy Mother's Day dinner at Drift House.
Yeah.
Down the shore.
Yep.
This is great. So I'm holding in my hand too. If you're listening, there's like 4
cheeses. They're fresh ricotta,
but they're in the netting.
They're in the cheesecloth.
Look at this cheesecloth.
That could be a paper towel if you don't want to. If you don't have cheesecloth, you do a triple line paper.
What is this? What is this? Pumpernickel? Something? Is this a regular bread?
That's pretzel bread because it's pretzel baked Thursday, so we're talking about pretzel. But toast points, so you can try here. Try one.
You made this. Give me the regular, if you would. This is beautiful. Look at this.
David, what's with the rose petals?
Here, try it. The rose petals because roses are for your mother.
God,
all right. There you go.
This is great.
Oh, it tastes like rose water.
So, David, the listeners have to come up with their own regard.
They're going to use the basic recipe of mine,
and they just send it in.
I'm looking for the ideas of what they would put in it to surprise their mother. Wow. It could be olives. It could be peppers.
If it was Father's Day, I'd put in a little gabuchel.
It could be bourbon. Could be
Arthur, how great is that cheese?
The rose petal one.
Oh my gosh, that is spectacular.
Could be gold leaf. Could be.
When did you make this? When did you make it? Like last night?
It was made at 2:00 in the afternoon yesterday.
Now, is that milk or heavy cream?
Heavy cream is creamier, fatter. Use milk.
You can't
half and half.
Can't use skim milk, right?
Well, I don't know. It's a good question, but why would you?
Yeah. Well, because it's me. And then did you bring who? Did Shelley Goldberg? Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Oh, Shelley brings us
Jesus,
all
you
great
know what?
things to the
Shelley's
show.
the best.
Shelley brought in David Burke, her buddy, and she bought these pretzels. It's not, what is it, National Pretzel Day?
Thursday.
So we got these gigantic pretzels on a plate.
Very New
Actually,
York. Well, actually, very German, but New
Need
York.
beer. Need beer with
Now,
that.
there you go. Parmesan pretzel?
Cinnamon Parmesan, the street salted ones. And you know why they're shaped like this?
Why was that?
The monks used to pray like this.
No, is that
Yeah.
right? They used to cross
Si-
their arms
yeah.
and hold. And so this is like indicating a monk's crossing their arms
Yes,
in the
very
pretzel.
religious. And then it turned into they gave pretzels to children when they learned their prayers.
It's just like
That's
that.
the history of it. Basically how it started. You know, now there's all kinds
Yeah.
of other stuff with regards to shapes and things like that. And then to be a master baker in Germany, you had to make a perfect
You know,
pretzel.
pretzels.
certification.
I'm a health nut. Pretzels
Yeah.
are not bad for you.
Right.
They're not bad. They're not fattening. They're not bad. That pretzel bread you just had is great.
Yeah.
And tell me, but before, let me go back to the ricotta cheese that you could make it now. And Frankie, tell me again, if someone comes
Yeah,
up
this
with a
one has
recipe,
pistachios in it.
it's a
A Mother's Day recipe.
Yeah.
So they can either email us through our website,
Okay,
through the AM970 The Answer smartphone app, or they can just go to David's website, which is chefdavidburke.com. And whoever comes up with a recipe that they add to the menu, this is quite a claim to fame. If you could get your regatta recipe added
They
to Tavern
can
62.
intrigue me into thinking it's going to work and be delicious,
Man,
and also
man.
why their mother would like that.
You know, so that's good. And then they'll have a Mother's Day dinner at the Drift House.
Down at Seabright.
I love it. Which Al and I are going. We got to
And
get.
Al, there's
We're
bacon for
always in
you,
Jersey. We got to go to Jersey and Tavern 62.
And Tavern 62 is open for Mother's Day as well.
Pretzel
Which is
bread
great.
sandwich.
You know, we're you got to make reservations.
BLT Prime in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
The man's on fire, and you're
I
going
think
all
so,
over.
yeah,
I hear you.
I
You
don't
got
want
every
anybody-
state.
I was in Saratoga this weekend at the Adelphi Hotel, which I'm rebranding with them, and
Are you
I gotta
involved
tell
with the
you-
Adelphi?
yeah.
Wow, Joe, do you know the Adelphi Hotel in Saratoga? It's the oldest
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah,
It's right in the middle of town.
They
It's been
renovated
closed for,
it.
5 years or
It's
something?
opened a huge renovation. It's probably the most beautiful hotel outside of New York City. One of the best I've seen in the
gorgeous.
country.
Wow,
incredible town.
How do you find these things,
You know?
David Burke? How do you
Well,
find
you know,
these
just
people
through-
come to you
yeah,
and say, "Come"?
people come.
And they say we want to open one of your properties there.
Well, could you come in? Would you be interested in co-branding with us and helping in our culinary development?
Wow,
Yeah.
man! And everybody in D.C. tells me about BLT Prime.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody they go, "Oh,
It's a
I've
great-
been there."
A
went
lot of
there."
hard work. Great property. Number one.
Yeah, yeah.
And a great company. BLT and I joined forces there. BLT, a great company here in New York City, based in New York.
Yeah,
E2
yeah.
Hospitality, and you know it was challenging to say the least to get it open because we opened with the hotel, but things are really good.
So how do you do that when you're opening a hotel? You worry most about food, you would think, but you can't. It's architecture.
Well, we don't. You know, the hotel was already pre-designed. We came in a little late to the game, but the hotel has its own staff and kitchen and chef and they run a great organization, the Trump organization in that hotel.
Okay.
We're a tenant in that hotel.
Yeah. But do you do an architectural diet before when you're not picking out islands? You figure the design.
I don't fly to D.C., so I'm on a train. The train doesn't work with
You gotta look at
the
cabins.
midnight.
Hey,
there's no red eye.
What is this?
What is this?
This
And I'm all- I know that's bacon, but
It
what
looks
is
like
this?
there's a
Pretzel
yeah.
and pretzel bread, bacon, and grilled cheese.
Wow.
I know it's very rustic, but I got to tell you.
Let me see that,
That's
Al, if I
great.
may. Thank you, sir. Look at this. I'm holding it.
That's
It's like a.
Gruyere.
Then what kind of bread is this? This is like a
That's
panini,
a pretzel.
almost like.
That's a pretzel bread.
It's a
though.
pretzel
That's
bread.
why it got so dark because it's
love it.
dark as usual. But take a bite of that.
But I love everything burnt. What's my problem? I love everything with a little charred. Is that okay?
Caramelization, you like sugar.
Yeah, is that
anything? You know, even meats, well done meat is sweeter because the protein's caramelized.
Yeah, yeah.
People don't realize that when you get a ham or the turkey skin or chicken or the roast beef on the end, you know, when you pick it when it's sitting on the table, that's like candy because the sugar is caramelized.
Yeah,
The red meat
yeah.
isn't. The rare part doesn't taste as good because it hasn't caramelized.
So this is grilled cheese. Is this bacon right here?
Yeah, I threw the bacon in because it's been 3 weeks since I
That's
brought
yours.
bacon.
Take the bacon. I'm going to
He's
take
suffering
some
from withdrawal.
He's gonna take the bacon.
You're going to love that.
And another creative idea based on the challenge of thinking about pretzels.
Yeah.
I made pretzel dumplings in a broth to replace matzo ball.
Wait, so how did you possibly do that now?
Well, I got Carmine DiGiovanni, my co-chef, with me. I asked, you know what? Know what's good about my job now? I can ask people. Try this, and he comes up and it's great. So we tried 3 versions yesterday.
Frankie, look at this. I'm looking.
But
at
it's
this.
better than a matzo ball because pretzels have more flavor than matzo. So you're starting with something better.
I'm looking.
But it's not kosher.
Is it kosher? Probably not.
I don't know.
No, it's yeast.
Call the rabbi. We'll check it out. Call my rabbi.
Well, pretzel sticks don't have any yeast.
Rabbi
The
Herson.
pretzel sticks are outrageous. What do you flavor these with?
Those are probably MSG and all kinds of good stuff. Those
Delicious. There's these really thin pretzel sticks he made.
This sandwich.
And
This is
they're
unbelievable.
really, really
Those are from,
delicious.
I believe
You
they're
gotta
from Japan.
Frankie, you got to try this.
I'm going.
I want to try that.
Here.
Try that. That looks good.
I've tried all 4 of these.
It's a long pretzel bread, and it's got
And
not
that
only
comes
cheese.
from-
What kind of cheese? Swiss,
It's Gruyere cheese. No, I'm sorry, it's cheddar.
Cheddar cheese.
Now that
with
bread comes from Hudson Bakery, right on Route 9.
Yeah,
there in Weehawken.
right. Look at that, man.
Yep.
And then you got a slab of bacon in the middle of it all.
That's why I want to try a piece.
Here you go,
because
buddy.
it's got that
You
bacon.
gotta
Bring
take
it
a
over
stick.
here.
Give me
And the
you got
pretzels
a
are
knife over
good.
there? I'm going to cut a piece so you can have it, Frank. Ah, beautiful.
We really got bones over here, Joe.
Breakfast of champions.
Look at this. David, so I was down your neck of the woods, and I always bring this up every time I come on because I'll go down,
Oh, shit.
with my little daughter, Charlie, and I told her. So and again, walk us through what flips me out, David.
You know what's
Burke, is that you ended up in France somewhere, and you're a Jersey guy from Haslam.
It wasn't easy.
But it was close, wasn't it? It was like wait, out of high school, and then you
I
went.
went to Norway out of high school. I'll tell you that story. My dad was like, "What exit?"
Yeah. Down in Gloucester County. Yeah, I know
I
where
said,
that is.
I'm going to Norway after college.
But walk me through that again. Someone came to you and said,
I was a really good student up to Culinary Institute of America. Actually, I'm making a speech at NJ Biz today at 2 o'clock. That's why I
that's
went
a
to
great organization.
Yeah.
Great organization, yeah.
So I'm going to walk through that.
Yeah.
I went to Norway, worked there for 4 months after school, took a 4-week pass, went all through Europe, came back to Europe, but I had the confidence after that to move to France.
Wow.
To work for free to learn without speaking French.
Man.
So it took a little Hazlitt in me.
But you went to the Culinary Institute
of
then.
America, in New York State.
Right. Fabulous. And that's
Great
what you
school.
noticed, yeah. And then, but to take it, what kills me, when you just do a restaurant, you can't just do the food. You always think a chef is just going to do the food. Again, like I'm talking about, you got to do the architectural design.
Well, I don't have to, but I tend to get involved in the design if they need me to. If I'm opening it from start to finish, I'll do it because I'm pretty good at it and I've been doing it for a while. Sometimes hotels want your input. Sometimes, and they usually ask now because we've been around for a while. And we sometimes you get a kitchen designer designs a kitchen, he doesn't work in the kitchen. He doesn't really know the ebbs and flows of how it's, a NASCAR driver should be.
But do you pick out the flatware, all that stuff?
We pick all that out, all the china. With chefs. I do that as a chef.
You do that.
Well, I also wear owner's hat too, so it's not just chefing.
Yeah.
So and it's.
Tell me, what are you doing down in Florida? What's the name of the place down in Florida? This famous restaurant, famous hotel that was closed. In Saratoga.
No, this is Saratoga, New York.
Oh, it's up in New York. You're right.
New York.
I thought that Florida was.
Well, not Sarasota.
Yeah, I got it.
3 hours up.
The Adelphi.
Yeah.
Been around since 1877.
That's what you were talking about early on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And there's Salt and Char's, the steakhouse next door.
I have to ask you, the pretzel matzo ball thing, which is outrageously mind-blowing. What's the broth all about?
Oh, the broth is chicken. It's got mustard in it and cabbage.
You see how he talks, when he talks about the food? It's like Carol Old talking
Have you been
about
that?
There's like a passion. There's a sultriness. It's got chicken. It's got broth. That's why I got the whole Architectural Digest.
Well, the joking is over when it comes to the broth.
When you talk about matzo ball broth, man, don't fool around.
You guys got to go with me to Tavern 62 because you got to go sit. We went there. Shelley was there, and we went and had the best meal. And then David will walk you through everything, and not to mention bring different. And I don't. And what was the meat I had at Tavern 62, which was
you
great?
had the dry aged, 40-day dry aged, patented salt aged. Kansas City steak with just sirloin on the bone. There's a sirloin off the bone. You get rid of. There's all these traditional names for, there's a New York strip, Kansas City.
It was great.
But the beef is fantastic. And I hired a guy for upstate. He came and cooked yesterday. He came in a suit for an interview, and usually we get him to cook for us. 6-8 dishes. They prep all day, and I said, "What are you doing today?" He says, "Well, I'm going to drive back." I said, "Make me lunch." He made me 4 or 5 dishes in his suit. Fantastic. So we made him an offer today. Yeah.
Really?
Burnt his shirt.
What do you make? What do you make?
He did a crude ceviche style raw dish. He did something with scallops. He did something with beef. And what was the other dish?
And you found this
He
guy?
did octopus. Fantastic. We did it all in an hour and a half.
Wow.
Unscripted. On the spot, like a TV show.
Where'd you
Here's
find
your
it?
mystery
Where'd
guest.
you find this guy?
Oh, through another friend. When you put the word out that you're looking. And it's hard to find. The further away you get from the big cities, the talent pool dries up a little bit. So
when you go to Saratoga, you'll bring somebody from the city up there.
Oh, we've got people up there now.
Good. Yeah, look at you, man. Look at you, David Burke. I tell you, it's a pleasure to have you with us. This is the regatta, the homemade regatta. Send us the recipe, right? Of
the idea.
Go ahead.
The idea for the recipe, what the secret of passionate, or what your mother would like ingredient that you'll surprise her for when she opens the fridge on Mother's Day and has a homemade cheese there waiting for her.
All right. And am970theanswer.com or Chef David.
Use the app or go to chefdavidburke.com.
Okay, great. And then you could have a possible Mother's Day dinner, courtesy of Mr. Burke himself, the chef, the super chef right there down at the Drift House in Seabright, New Jersey. David, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for taking the time. You know what? This is a lot of preparation, pal, and we appreciate that very much.
You know what? I learn stuff every week, too, because I do a little research on pretzels.
Yeah.
And a little research on this.
The only way we get Arthur here was to say Carol Auth was here. That's the only reason he showed up. You came because you're a dedicated chef, and and Shelley Goldberg.
She looks fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, how about that, man? And she'll be back, and you got to come back too. We'll talk to you next week or something.
Right,
and we'll see you at the restaurant. David Burke, right there. There's the man right there, and the cuisine like none other. 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, Assemblyman Robert Auth is going to join us live in studio as well. We're going to talk about tax increases in New Jersey, Debbie.
Oh, of course.
Stop with it.
Oh, we have to keep working. That's it, Joe.
Jersey boy. David Burke, Jersey boy. You're a Jersey girl. Come on. I mean, it's all about Jersey here, right?
Well, today, yes. We do have a lot of Jersey here.
And how we doing traffic-wise over there at 921 on AM 970 The Answer, Deb?
Let's see what's happening, Joe, and welcome to David. As usual, let's see what's happening. Just got a message from Daniel. He's stuck on the westbound side of the belt. Daniel, thanks for this tip here. The westbound belt is still moving really slowly as you get right out toward the area of Kennedy Airport. Eastbound belt, that's going to be stop and go getting out toward Kennedy Airport as well. Eastbound Gowanda slowing down up by the Prospect. The FDR Drive southbound is just horrible getting down toward the 30s, so watch for delays there. Inbound GWB still 15. Lincoln Tunnel 20. Holland 30. In Jersey on the Garden State Parkway South at 145. An accident. Route 1 northbound is still closed getting up toward Dean's Lane into South Brunswick with a collision. 22 West emergency construction at the Garden State Parkway. The Sawmill southbound slowing down through Irvington northbound. An accident being cleared. Brought to you by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Your unused prescription drugs could end up misused or stolen. Keep them safe. Clean them out. Take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, Saturday, April 28th. Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com. Partly cloudy today, high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Wednesday afternoon, it's your information fast lane at AM 970, The Answer. Michael Medved blasts off at 3. Kevin McCullough, breaking news as it happens at 4. John Katzimatidis getting both sides of the story at 5. And Jay Sekulow making news from the nation's capital at 6. Get your information super infusion every Wednesday. The stories you need and the analysis you trust. Only on AM 970, The Answer. In an era where it's tough to know which news outlet to trust, at a time where it's difficult to find facts, not just opinion, there is an oasis in the news desert. It's the Katz Roundtable. John Katzimatidis, the personification of the American dream, who built a multi-billion-dollar business empire, talks with some of the nation's top newsmakers every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. You won't just hear partisan spin. You'll hear directly from the newsmakers who are shaping the news cycle in the city, the country, and the world. On the Katz Roundtable, you won't just hear about politics. You'll hear about science, business, education, animal rights, and any other topics that you're interested in. Catch the Katz Roundtable every Sunday morning, starting at 8:30, right after Morano in the Morning on AM 970. The Answer.
Studies show if you sleep next to someone who snores, you could be losing an hour of sleep every night. I'm Trina Webster, And I don't have that problem anymore.
I'm Dan Webster. We're the founders of Z-Quiet.
We know how snoring can turn your sweet dreams into a nightmare of shoving, poking, and morning frustration.
Not to mention those dreaded trips to the couch in the middle of the night.
Snoring was a real problem for us.
I tried everything, even surgery, but nothing worked.
That's when we developed an amazing solution called Z-Quiet.
Z-Quiet is easy to use and works immediately so you can sleep comfortably without making a sound. Just pop it in before you sleep and kick snoring out of bed forever.
Millions of people are sleeping better every night thanks to Z-Quiet. So if better sleep is one of your goals, go to getzquiet.com.
Z-Quiet fits both men and women. Try it risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95. Text SLEEP to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com. Text SLEEP to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com.
Jersey Joe on the radio. Assemblyman Robert Auth standing by, and you don't want to miss the Assemblyman. And your phone calls always, by the way, at 877-970-2999 on this wild morning on the Piscopo Show. Love telling you about Blue Rock Energy. You got to take control of your money and make the free and easy switch to Blue Rock Energy. The way I did, the way AM 970 The Answer did, the way the Buffalo Bills did, the Brooklyn Nets. Summer's approaching. You know it. With warmer months comes these high energy rates. You can lock in low rates with Blue Rock Energy. That's what I love about Blue Rock Energy, aside that it's generating the energy from New York State. And Phil Van Horn keeps the company with Wendy and Joe and Deb Fairchild. They're right there in Syracuse, New York. It's a local company. I love it. Blue Rock's pricing for sustainable sources is substantially lower than most competitive suppliers. You can call today, Blue Rock Energy, 877-280-4909, or visit bluerockenergy.com to learn more. Sign up. In just a couple of clicks, you can be on your way to a better and more affordable energy solution. Lock in your rates with Blue Rock Energy, 877-280-4909, or go to bluerockenergy.com.
Mike Gallagher, live from our Wall Street studios. Coming up at 10 a.m. on AM 970, The Answer.
Portions of this show sponsored by Hudson Honda.
Jersey Joe on the radio. My goodness gracious, what a morning. Thanks so much for staying with us. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube on am970theanswer.com. And you can, if you're listening and you're driving, it's been a wild morning. But one of the great representatives down in the Assembly of the great state of New Jersey is the man sitting next to me, Assemblyman Robert Auth. He's very, very dedicated. And I think I have to apologize to you, Assemblyman, because we were down there. They were recognizing me. I guess it was over a year ago for some Italian-American thing with my buddy Manny Alfano, and the One Voice Italian group was there. And it was such a rush, and there were people in the gallery, and they were going to vote right there on the, I think, on the right to die or some kind of very vital issue. And I was kind of hustled out, and I saw you handed me something, and I never got to say thank you. How are you? Good to see you. So I apologize for that.
Oh, no apology necessary.
You know, right in the assembly there. And thank you for all the good work that you do for the great state of New Jersey, sir.
Well, thank you. You know, it's very interesting that you mentioned that, because I wanted to start this morning by just bringing something to your attention. I looked through the Wall Street Journal this morning. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I read it in the Hill. And the headline is 14 states hit record low unemployment. So I want to say right now, thank you, President Trump, and thank you, EPA Director Scott Pruitt.
Yeah.
Because these states are all-time lows for unemployment, and that's because they've taken away some of the restrictions that have inhibited employment, and they are letting people do what they do best. Make money and employ people. So I know. It's great.
And then, but what do we do in New Jersey? If I can go there right on the onset here, with the tax. And listen, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, because I'm not like that. And I'm close personal friends with Assembly, the leader down there, John Bramnick.
Good man.
He is a great guy. But there are some great people in Trenton that get it. Yet we don't create revenue. Until I'm blue in the face, Robert Auth. We don't create a revenue stream to offset the taxes. And I said to the leader, I said to Mr. Bramnick, why don't we put a Prop 13, a referendum in, so they can't raise the taxes on us? And now with Governor Murphy, I don't want to say anything bad about the guy, because he's only 4 months in. We're going to give him a chance. Hopefully Steve Sweeney will talk some sense into him. I mean, I'm just saying. But every $1.5 billion in taxes, I can't afford it personally. Assemblyman, I can't afford it. What are these people thinking?
Well, first of all, Joe, I'm like you. If I can't say something nice about somebody, I won't say anything at all.
God bless you for that.
It just doesn't work for me going that way. But I think the fact that there are some sizable differences in the Democratic caucus right now creates a situation where there may be some restraints put on the governor by his Senate and Assembly, because they know the Assembly's up for re-election next year. All of them, and then in 4 years the Senate's going to be up again, all of them. And actually, it'll be the entire legislature, and the governor will have to run again. So those things are squarely in the front of the minds of the legislators, and we've heard grousing amongst them about issues that the governor is proposing: legalize marijuana, excessive taxes, and other things that they are not happy with. So there is some hope that there will be some thoughtful reasoning amongst their own caucus before they put some of these bills up. Because once they get put up, the bill's put up, it's going to get passed pretty much, because they have total control of both houses and the governor's mansion.
Why are they so obsessed? Why are the and not just that? Listen, you know what, Robert? If I could call you Robert, I said I could deal with the Democrats. I could deal with the liberals. I have no problem. It's the progressive socialists that are just taking hold in New York and California and now New Jersey. They're taking my state away, brother. They're taking my state away. It's a progressive mindset. They're more concerned with a sanctuary state than to help me be able to afford college for my daughter. Because I'll tell you right now, Assemblyman, I ain't getting it for free.
Oh, well, you mentioned that. I wasn't going to talk about this on today's show, but, it really came up.
Look at you, bookmarking notes and everything. Look at this guy being prepared, fellas. Come on now.
We had a really, we had a voting session on June the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one of the worst voting sessions for taxpayers in the state of New Jersey.
In what regard, sir?
Well, how about this one? We had S699, which was provides financial aid to undocumented immigrants for college. Now, you just said no one's giving you anything.
No one's showing up for me.
I paid for my son's college when he went through school. And there are citizens in this country that can't get into school. There are people in my district, the district I'm proud to represent, that are teetering on foreclosure. And yet we're going to spend $13 million in this bill to send undocumented immigrants to college.
Yeah.
We recently had some undocumented immigrant graduate Rutgers Law School, and they accepted him into the bar. I mean, the whole notion of him being here illegally is against what the New Jersey bar represents. The interesting thing, too, is every time an undocumented immigrant takes a seat in a college, it's a finite amount of seats. That means that some American citizen or some citizen from even another state, but a citizen, has to go to a private school and pay double the tuition, which is tantamount to a tax to the family.
And listen, and there's a whole dreamer thing. I mean, you got to give it to President Trump for saying 1.8 million, sure, we're going to have a path to citizenship. We don't dispute that, sure. But what they're missing, and I can't put my handle on it, what the progressives are doing by helping out. Is it just they're garnering votes, I suppose? Like Governor Cuomo just saying that people on parole now can vote. It looks like they're just trying to amass the votes as opposed to taking care of us who get up every morning, who pay our taxes every day, who have to take care of our kids in school, the regular hardworking folks in New York and New Jersey. And this is my question. Are these politicians just using the states to jump to higher office?
Oh, I think that's certainly in the plans of certain politicians in certain states. We just passed a bill here in New Jersey also, which I was very disappointed. I didn't vote for it, but where they increased motor voter registration, and they just automatically register you to vote if you go into the motor vehicle or other agencies in New Jersey. And the interesting thing is I read an article, maybe 6 months ago, where it was identified in one state, people who were registered to vote by motor voter were then also that group of motor vehicle recipients are used by the judiciary to get a pool of jurors. And they sent them letters that said that you were required to come in for jury duty, and people were writing on the letter, sending it back, I'm not a citizen, but they were registered to vote.
Wow.
So I put a bill in that said if the judiciary gets that, they should report to the county clerk of the voter registration and take the names off the rolls. And of course, the bill is sitting on the bottom of a pile someplace. It'll never see the light of day in the current administration because this type of thing seems to be encouraged.
Assemblyman Robert Auth with us. He's a great guy doing a great job in the Assembly. And we're talking about the $1.5 billion in tax increases. And now we have the state income tax. And then even the Governor Abbott from Texas is going after Governor Murphy, saying, come on down to Texas, man. We want to create revenue. We want to create revenue. You want to create jobs. You want to bring jobs back. You don't want Gerber to leave like what's happening now. And the millionaires tax. Listen. People always go, oh, Joe, you don't have to worry about that. We all have to worry about that. Everybody's going to Florida and South Carolina, Assemblyman.
Our district, I'm proud to be running mates with Senator Cardinale and my Assembly colleague Holly Schapese. Our district was hurt severely by people moving. We had Mercedes-Benz, the entire campus backed up and left.
Right.
We had Hertz car rental.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the guys who wash the cars and the hubcaps. I'm talking about the high-end account managers, international and national, over $100,000 a year. They packed up, left. Bubble Wrap packed up and left. On and on and on. So all these companies are leaving, and they're marching with their feet for exactly what you're saying. And
we got to let you go. We appreciate you joining us. And now you always talked about divorce reform, and Lord knows I wrote the book, sir. So I'm going to be totally organic here. But when you go into a courtroom, and I know the laws are put in place to help those less fortunate, those who are in the toughest situations domestically. I understand that. But boy, the lawyers just run with this, and the judges, I think, are afraid to say anything because the laws are set. You have some vital, you have some vital divorce reforms, yes?
We were working on a few things. It's very interesting. It's not only men saying that they're getting a raw deal. Women come. It's
absolutely.
Absolutely. This is gender neutral. There's problems on both sides. I will say one thing. I thought you'd be a little bit disappointed. Unfortunately, I haven't been the bearer of good news today. But we just gave our judges a raise, $8,000 a year for the next 3 years.
Does that go through? That went through?
Passed.
Oh my Lord.
Now,
we love you, judges. We love you, but
that's okay. Now, my good friend Senator Cardinale, he's the only Republican in Bergen County, so he sees a lot of these judges that want to get into the judiciary, and he voted against it too. He said, "Hey, look, I could reduce the salary by $25,000, and I'd still have a line out the door of people that want to become judges, and the quality of the work by those judges would be the same."
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But let me ask you: Have you
not
experienced
guilty.
Judicial restraint and during the times that you've been involved with some of these things? Because a lot of the folks that I speak to that are involved with divorce, they say the judges are just totally unsympathetic.
Yeah, unsympathetic. There's one or two I could think of immediately that are spectacular, and they totally get it.
And they deserve credit.
That's right. They really, really do. But I have to tell you, when you go into a court, and I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you're absolutely right. This is not a father, mother, husband, wife issue. Because I have a gal friend, she just paid she still pays extraordinary. Why? She's the money earner. It's the money earner who gets hurt. And the judge sits there and thinks, you got the money, you could do it. But, Your Honor, I have good months, I have bad months. Sometimes I have the money, sometimes I don't.
And then they put him in jail if you can't pay.
Boom.
And then
you can't work. Thanks for seeing the light, though, Assemblyman. And thanks for fighting the fight, Robert. And you're welcome back anytime, man.
Well, when you want to hear some more, we should talk about these bills before they vote on them so folks could go out there and call their legislators.
Let's do it. Come back next week, if you would.
Hey, I would be happy to come.
Thanks for coming in live. Go ahead.
One last thing.
Yes, sir.
I had some tax stuff, and I guess maybe we'll go over it next time, about how some of these mandates and subsidies to power companies are going to be a real tax burden on a lot of people because they really are taxes in the billions of dollars. But after reviewing my notes yesterday, I had to call up Blue Rock Energy because I was so infuriated with the power companies. I said, I'm going to call these guys. I did. I called them up. I'll show you later on my phone. I'm checking my rates to make sure they're the real deal, and I'm going to sign up.
Phil Van Horn, Blue Arc Energy. We'll go to News, Al. I know, but I want to tell you, give a plug for Phil. Thank you for saying that, because you know how long it took him to get into New Jersey? A year, because of all the regulations. But he stood fast. He said, "I want to help the people of New Jersey." I was the first customer to sign up with Blue Arc Energy. Thanks for saying that.
Well, I'm signing up. I'll be
You'll be right there.
A charter member with you.
There you go. Thank you, Assemblyman. Appreciate it. Assemblyman Robert Auth right there, representing the 39th Assembly District in Bergen and Passaic counties in the great state of New Jersey. Big Al Gattulo standing by with the headline news right here on AM 970, The Answer.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970, The Answer.
53 degrees at 9:40. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. The NYPD is concerned about terrorists using drones to attack New York City. John Miller with the city's counterterrorism unit says there are online videos showing terrorists overseas experimenting and executing deadly drone attacks. Miller is calling on the Department of Homeland Security to issue grants so the city can protect against the aerial attacks. He spoke to reporters yesterday after a hearing on emergency preparedness by a House subcommittee. Westchester County Executive George Latimer is testifying on how utility companies responded to winter storms. He'll be speaking later today in front of the New York State Department of Public Service. Hundreds of thousands of families lost power for days this winter when storms slammed the region. Latimer was critical of the response from Con Edison and New York SCG. He called for the heads of both utility companies to resign in early March. Con Ed and NYSEG have said that the winter storms caused significant damage and that crews worked hard to respond to outages as quickly as possible. In sports, Giancarlo Stanton went 4 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Yankees smoked the Twins 14-1. Didi Gregorius adding a grand slam. Miguel Andujar and Tyler Austin also went deep for the Bombers. Masahiro Tanaka got his third win on the season. Stuck in traffic, Debbie Duhame's got the answer.
Thanks, Al. We're seeing delays still on Route 1 northbound getting up toward Dean's Lane in South Brunswick. That's an accident investigation still closed. 27 northbound running parallel getting up toward New Road in South Brunswick. A collision there as well. 22 west at the Garden State Parkway. They're doing emergency road work. And watch out for some slowdowns as you head over to the Hudson River crossings. Inbound side of the Holland, still 25. Lincoln 20. GWB, that's down to about 10 minutes. 208 is very busy southbound into McBride Ave as you get down into Fairlawn. That's an accident there as well. Watch for delays on the northbound New England Thruway up by Country Club Road. A collision to deal with. A lot of volume on the westbound belt out by Erskine Street. As Daniel told us, it's still bumper to bumper, but the accident was cleared. And the FDR Drive is jammed up as you head southbound into the 40s, and that's all due to a car fire over there. Partly cloudy today, a high of 62. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970. The Answer.
Sponsored by Indeed. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions. Then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. I'm an inquisitive sort. I want to understand the left, but I have questions. When it comes to your concern that law enforcers not be above the law, is that just for beat cops, or does it extend to senior level officials at the nation's most powerful law enforcement agency? I ask because I haven't heard the date announced for the Andy McCabe protests. When it comes to treating the Constitution like an Asian buffet, are there limits to the application of the sanctuary designation? I ask because Effingham County, Illinois, voted to make their jurisdiction a sanctuary county for Second Amendment rights to protect the rights of their residents to protect themselves. I understand you to be stalwart defenders of a free press now. Could you share your conversion story? I ask because of your silence when Obama Attorney General Eric Holder surveilled and subpoenaed Fox News reporter James Rosen, and when Patrick Fitzgerald imprisoned New York Times reporter Judith Miller in the Scooter Libby case, to cite but just 2 examples. Thank you in advance for helping me distinguish your virtue from your virtue signaling.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways? How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dinovite.com.
With just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dinovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dinovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dinovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
There's skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
Piscopo in the morning, 944 877 970 2999. May I tell you about Bramnick Law? About lawyers John and Brent Bramnick at the Bramnick Law Firm. They can be reached 7 days a week. Did you know that? Phone consultations are free. Accident cases are handled on a contingency fee. No recovery, no fee. John Bramnick began his law practice in 1984. Now he has 17 lawyers and a staff of 30 ready to assist you. Not every accident results in a lawsuit. You hear me tell you that every morning. However, if a lawsuit is necessary, the Bramnicks have the resources to pursue the case and to take it to trial. Not all cases require a trial, but Bramnick lawyers have the trial experience necessary to fight for your fair compensation. If you're wondering how you're going to pay your medical bills, right? How you're going to be compensated for lost earnings, they have all the answers. The Bramnick lawyers handle on-the-job accidents as well as a wide variety of cases involving negligence. Here is the number for Bramnick. If it's an accident, you got to call Bramnick, 877-423-4878, 877-423-4878, or you can reach them at johnbramnick.com, JONBRAMNICK.com.
Dennis Prager, coming up at 1 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the smartwaytobuy.com studios.
Radio Piscopo, live from the greatest city in the world, right in downtown New York, New York. I'm a block away from the Freedom Tower next to the Trinity Church. What a morning this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for watching on AM970theanswer.com.
Take a breath now.
We are doing right.
God,
we are going.
We are going. Since 6:30 this morning, it's been just.
I know. It's been fun though. I love it, and that's the way. Like I said, this ain't your parents' radio show, baby. We are here. We are ready, locked and loaded. I want to go to Frankie Five Boroughs with Arthur Aidala still in the studio. Arthur,
but my favorite part of the show, honestly, Joe.
I'm glad I asked.
My favorite part had to be Frank's cat questions. We have this beautiful woman in the studio. Joe and Arthur are gushing over this woman, asking questions, pertinent questions. That, I have this animal thing that I'm doing. This whatever, and this one turns around. I have a cat. Can I ask a cat question?
So cute.
Okay, can I ask two? Can I ask
I normally would never interrupt.
Her down the elevator.
You know what's going to happen? She's going to end up with Morano. You know?
No.
And then he shows her, "Is this your number?" And the look on her face is like,
"But you know what? You know what I was thinking of when he started asking the cat questions? They're very, very famous, and it was on national television. So years ago we could talk about it when Johnny Carson is interviewing Raquel Welch. She's got the cat on her lap.
No, don't. Your mother's listening, Arthur.
All right, it was late night TV.
Your mother's listening.
You remember the line?
Did he go there? You
remember the line?
All right. We're
not going to mention
it. It actually never happened. That's one of those things that everyone thinks they've seen and everyone thinks they know, and it actually never happened.
It never happened?
And there's so many different versions of that story. One's with Zsa Zsa Gabor, one's with Eva Gabor, one's with Raquel Welch, one's with Sophia Loren. It has never happened.
Really?
Johnny talked about it for 30 years because people asked him about it for 30 years. Zsa Zsa Gabor's talked about it. Raquel Welch talked about it. It is one of those things that it's like all the stockbrokers that jumped out of the window during the Great Depression.
Me doing steroids?
Never happened. Right? No, exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Kind of insane stuff he knows. Morano knows.
I know.
We know that it never happened. God bless you, Frank.
Hey, Frankie Five Boroughs, tell us about, and Arthur, you could jump in too, because this is a big day election-wise in the state of New York.
Yeah, so there's 11 special elections today. So if you're in Manhattan, if you're in the Bronx, if you're in Long Island, go out and vote because turnout's going to be anemic. But the only election that really has statewide implications is this state Senate election that's taking place in Westchester today, because this is the last vestige of Republicanism in New York State. This is the last thing they control. Right now, there's 63 members of the state Senate. There are 2 vacancies, okay? Right now, there's 31 Republicans and 30 Democrats. Now, one of those elections today is in the Bronx. The Democrats definitely going to win that. And the other election is in Westchester. This is a very competitive election. Millions of dollars have poured into this election that probably 15,000 people are going to vote in. Because if the Democrat wins, then they will control the state Senate and have a numerical majority. If the Republicans win, they'll have a numerical majority. So the Republican candidate is Julie Killian, former deputy mayor of Rye. The Democratic candidate is Shelley Mayer. She's a state assemblywoman there now. This was George Latimer's seat. He became elected to the Westchester County
Off the
Executive.
top of his head.
But it is very interesting. Now, there is a chance that the Republicans could still maintain control of the state Senate because there's one Democrat, Simcha Felder from Brooklyn, that caucuses with the Republicans, even though he's a Democrat. But do we really want control of the state to be decided by Simcha Felder, a Democrat who's going to be put under enormous pressure from not only his Democratic colleagues but the governor to go back with his Democratic brethren? Also, some of the things that Simcha Felder has been pushing aren't necessarily in the interests of the whole state. So,
but there's no, if I may, Frankie, you know best. Simca's up. He's up for.
Yes.
He's up now. There's no way he loses. I mean, am I right?
Well, we'll see. He's going to have a Democratic primary because a lot of Democrats don't like the fact that he's caucusing with the Republicans.
Yeah, because he makes common sense. Yeah.
But if he goes back to where the Democrats are between now and June, I wouldn't be surprised if the Republicans try to run somebody against him. But this is a very tough district for anyone that's not named Simcha Felder to win.
I bet you $1 there are not even 15,000 people.
No, I'm not going to take that.
It's probably like it'll be, and that's what's sad, Joe. All kidding aside, if you look at even who elected Mayor De Blasio, it was less than 25% of eligible voters, and that's eligible voters. I'm sorry, registered voters. There are so many people who are not registered to vote, and there are places all over the world, Joe, where people die for their right to vote. We just take it for granted. And that's why when people start complaining about the politicians, whomever they are, before I engage them, I say, do you vote? And if they say, no, I don't vote, I go, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you're right. You
want to sit on your hands?
When are you running for office?
Joe, you got to be out of your mind right now to run for office. Everyone's under investigation. Cuomo's chief of staff is going to prison. De Blasio dodged a bullet by a razor skin margin. Every day, you guys in the morning are covering about some politician who's under indictment who just resigned. Pam Harrison, his friend Michael Grimm went to jail. He's coming back. He's running. I mean, it's treacherous.
We talked about this at length.
It's treacherous
privately, and when I was thinking about running, it's just
people tough. I'm going to, with all humility, people who love me, like Avi, meaning Mr. Professor Dershowitz, and Geraldo, they're like, all right, if that's where your heart is, if that's where your passion is, of course we're going to support you.
Otherwise,
but as guys who love you, figure out how to be involved civically without putting your neck really out.
Your mother did a good job raising you. Daddy too.
Back
Daddy
at
too.
Back at you.
Arthur Aidala, the great Arthur Aidala,
what
right
a morning.
there. 9:51. Yeah, well, ain't over yet. You know, radio, you always go, wait, ain't over
you
yet.
Guys are done work. I'm just beginning. Like, I got to go ramp up, go into the office, like, all right, everyone, let's go write a brief. Let's file a motion.
You have a jury to sing to. What are you going to do there? Debbie Duhame's on the roads. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for a great morning as always, my dear.
Thank you, Joe, and it's great to have Arthur with us this morning. Good morning, Frank and Alan. Everybody, let's take a spin to the Southern State westbound at Belmont Ave into West Babylon. That's an accident. Watch for some slowdowns as well on the FDR Drive. It's been really tough this morning. The FDR Drive is moving very slowly as you head southbound, getting down toward the 40s. Northbound, getting up through the 40s. That car fire is being cleared. Watch out for some slowdowns on the LIE. The LIE heading eastbound, getting into Little Neck Parkway. That's a car fire waiting for you. And the westbound BQE by the LIE, an accident there as well. So expect delays. Expect some stop-and-go traffic as you head over to the inbound Holland. It's 25. Lincoln down to 10. GWB is moving okay. 208 southbound at Fairlawn. Some earlier problems cleared. Route 1 is still closed northbound, getting up toward the area of Dean's Lane into South Brunswick for the crash, and 22 west at the Garden State Parkway, construction being cleared. The Sawmill northbound in Irvington, an accident as well. You now know where not to go. I'm Debbie Duhame, AM 970, The Answer.
Hugh Hewitt sees problems on the Hill.
If you don't know and you just start playing Skittles with Pompeo, you're incredibly reckless. So every Democrat who votes against him should be retired. Is unfit to be a senator. Every single Republican voted for John Kerry, and all but one Republican voted for Hillary Clinton. And so you can see there's a double standard here. Trump derangement syndrome is at work.
The Hugh Hewitt Show. Weekday mornings at 3, right before Joe Piscopo at 6 on AM 970. The Answer.
Hi, Kevin McCullough.
You've heard me frequently talk about the number of children in Haiti that face cruel and unusual circumstances. Friends, it's an inhumane reality to understand that children are constantly facing these realities and that acts of nature have only made them worse. But we can do something about that. Our friends Food for the Poor have been on the ground for more than 30 years in Haiti, and right now we have the opportunity to help rescue 520 Haitian children for the coming year. $50 will feed a child for the full year and supply clean drinking water, purified, beautiful, delicious, clean drinking water for the rest of their life. And due to a very generous matching gift, for those of you that can do at least 3 children in the next 10 minutes, so a one-time gift of $150, your gift will be automatically doubled. But a gift of any size helps right now rescue a child. 855-919-4673. That's 855-919-4673.
Joe Piscopo here, coming to you from the smartwaytobuy.com studios. You know, buying a pre-owned car can be scary. How do you know it's safe? Was it in a flood or accident? Can you believe the mileage on the odometer? Well, on the smartwaytobuy.com, you'll find the finest collection of pre-owned vehicles in the area. And you'll find peace of mind because every car you see on the site comes with a vehicle history and has gone through a 150-point inspection. Plus, each one comes with a 5-day, 500-mile exchange policy, so you can be confident it's the right vehicle for you and at the right price, because the smartwaytobuy.com backs up every one of their already low prices with a 110% low price guarantee. The details are all there on the site. Discover the benefits of buying your next pre-owned vehicle, the smartwaytobuy.com.
Have you ever had a legal question pertaining to elder law or estate law and wondered what's the best course of action to take? During Kevin McCullough Radio, you'll hear from Mike Connors of Connors & Sullivan, Attorneys at Law, answering a real listener's actual question. If you have a legal question for Mike Connors, the Ask the Lawyer host, simply email the question to mikeconnors@gmail.com. That's mikeconnors@gmail.com. Or call Mike's office at 718-238-6500 and see for yourself. That's Ask the Lawyer with Mike Connors every Saturday evening at 6 on AM 970, The Answer.
Here's your AM 970 Weather Answer Forecast.
Some sunshine today will give way to increasing clouds, still rather mild, high 63. Then periods of rain tonight, low 48 to 52. Tomorrow, cloudy and cooler with rain in the morning, tapering off in the afternoon, the high 58. Thursday, clouds breaking for some sunshine, breezy and milder again, high 64. AM 970, The Answer.
French national anthem.
Unbelievable. Like it's not enough what's going on this morning. Out of the clear blue sky, we're talking about issues, and Frank goes, French national anthem, best anthem in the world.
No, it was not out of the clear blue sky. It was just on the television set, and the president was grooving out to it.
There was no audio.
No, but I could see how into it the president
was. So because you see President Trump moving back and forth?
Yes. No, because I related. I can empathize.
You know, I agree. I think that we should have my version doing the Frank Sinatra version of the national anthem. I'm just saying respectfully to the greatest country on earth.
Well, their unit of currency is the franc, so that would be apropos.
There it is. Parry & Sons. We want you to go to Parry & Sons. You look for Glenn Parry when you go out to Franklin Avenue in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. And Glenn will walk. He could restore all your jewelry. You know, they're real jewelers. Remember we used to go for service and they would repair and restore your jewelry? Bang! That's what happened when I went out to Parry & Sons. Glenn is there. Maria, Debbie, Lisa, Katie, the whole Parry family is there. They've been there for almost 100 years. If you want a diamond, you want to break down the 4 C's like no other jeweler can, go to Parry & Sons right there on Franklin Avenue in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, or go to parryandiamonds.com. Jacques Cousteau, Doudou, Pipi, Caca, Pepe Le Pew, Les Sautons, Les Sautons, Le Tonton, Les Joe Piscopo, Arthur Aidala, Frankie Morando, Big Al Gutulo, Grumpy Al. It is nice.
In French.
Hey, that's a very nice one.
All right.
Maybe tomorrow we'll do the national anthem where I could sing it. I always thought the old man Arthur should do the national anthem. Swing it, baby. Swing it.
He never did the national anthem.
Never. God bless America. Maybe he knew because he knew. He knew. Arthur, An honor and a privilege.
2 hours of my life I'll never get back, but I'll never forget either.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Carol Auth.
Yeah, really, Carol Auth, thank you, and God bless you, Carol. Great stuff, and thank you, Commissioner Kelly. Frankie Five Boroughs, thanks for bringing the best to the airwaves. Although I'll take credit for Miss Alt today, if I may. For you. Arthur, thanks for being a good wingman. You were brilliant. I love you, Al. Love you, Debbie. Thanks, guys. Piscopo in the morning. Make it a great day, because you deserve it.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970. The Answer.
53 degrees at 9:59. I'm Al Gattulo with local news first. Here's what's going on. Police searching for a hit-and-run driver who struck and killed a bicyclist in the Bronx. Happened late last night on Webster Avenue. In the Mount Hope section, police say a truck driver hit a 46-year-old man on a bike, then sped off on the Cross Bronx Expressway. Bike rider pronounced dead at Bronx Lemadon Hospital. Governor Murphy says he's signing new equal pay legislation into law. The Garden State's highest executive at first announced on social media back on April 10th. Then on April 24th, he'd decree what he describes as the most sweeping equal pay legislation in America. Previously said that women in New Jersey had been making only 82 cents to the $1 made by males, and there's no reason for such a disparity. The law known as the Diane B. Allen Equal Pay Act, a lengthy piece of legislation that is intended to ensure equal pay as well as end any form of employment discrimination. You now know what's going on. Have a great day, everyone. I'm Al Gattulo, AM 970. The Answer. Get your foot out of my face.
From the studios of AM 970, The Answer, on Broadway and Wall Street in Manhattan, this is WNYM, Hackensack, New Jersey, New York City.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A stately welcome at the White House this morning with President and Mrs.